Record better audio anywhere with Motive digital microphones from Shure. Easy-to-use options like the MV88 plug directly into your phone or computer and include a free app. Create studio-quality sound for podcasts, music, and videos. Visit Shure.com to learn more.
Good evening. Before we begin, a disclaimer and a warning for tonight's episode. Tonight's broadcast may be unsuitable for children, adults, and living creatures.
Listener's discretion is advised.
I've been keeping my ear to the streets. The UK run out of ideas. Everybody doing covers of American beats.
Live from the In the Room studios located in the Net Carrier and Cloud. This is the VOC Nation Radio Network.
This is King Kong Bundy, and you're listening to the VOC Nation.
Hey, I'm the mouth of the South, Jimmy Hart, telling you fans worldwide to visit VOCNation.com. VOC Nation gives you top-notch interviews with the hottest guests, the latest news, and lots of fun from the greatest team headed by the voice of choice. Hey, take it from me, the mouth of the South, Jimmy Hart. VOCNation.com is the place to go, baby.
Okay, Philadelphia parents, listen up. Do you have a child in the house that's just about to learn how to drive? Well, you got to do this. You got to head over to DuncanschoolofDriving.com. Best of Bucks County 2013 as voted by the Courier Times. Duncan School of Driving, specialists in teenage driver training. Keep that insurance down. Keep them accident-free. 215-639-1990. They're endorsed by the Pennsylvania Police Officers Association, DuncanschoolofDriving.com.
Hey everyone, it's Michelle SportsX reminding you to visit sportsxmedia.com and check out all of Pamela Michelle's work over at SXM Sports. Thanks.
You know, the Patriot looks very tan today. I wonder if he got his tan from Sunboat Tans over in Southampton, Pennsylvania.
Awesome place. That's how I get my color. And as you see, it's very effective.
Now maybe he's going to get another tan. Possibly. Maybe he's going to go to sunboattan.com and try to get that tan.
Again, guys, check me out. You can see where I get my color from.
Hola, hola, hola. I am Shelly Funtime Martinez. And I am Dazzling Danielle. And together we are the Martinez Girls. Tune in on VOC Nation. And until then, Danielle, I and you are Audi 5000. Adios, toodles.
Voice of Choice Wrestling Nation.
Heard worldwide.
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 Worldwide, baby. Worldwide, man.
Worldwide.
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 Worldwide. En el mundo todo.
Worldwide.
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 Worldwide. Worldwide. On VOCNation.com.
Are you getting lost in the cloud? Is technology moving too fast for you? Find your way at netcarrier.com. Ride the N cloud and soar above your competition.
What's up, all you stars and studs? This is former WWE diva Maria Kanellis and current First Lady of Ring of Honor, and you are listening to In the Room.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome one, welcome all. In the room, right here, VOCNation.com, TheBradyHicks.com. Brady Hicks here. What an incredible show tonight. It's going to be so much fun. I'm really looking forward to it. First off, joining me on the line as always, the always awesome Kathie Fitz. What's going on, Kathie?
Not much, Brady, and how are you?
I am fantastic right now. It's the summer's in full effect. You know, I'm feeling it. It's a great time to be alive. The U.S. Constitution may mean nothing anymore, but it's all good. I wasn't going to go there tonight. I really wasn't. Also joining us on the line, former WCW star, the Stro, the maestro of wrestling. What's going on, Stro?
Great to be here as usual. Can't wait.
It's always a treat, right?
Hell yeah.
So today I hadn't really planned on having a guest. I reached out to a bunch of people and I there just didn't seem to be any takers. It just seemed to be one of those nights. But Kathie worked her magic. She lined up a fantastic guest for tonight. And I guess you could say literally, Kathie, it's not my fault at this point. What happens?
Good one, Brady. Good one.
Former WWE star, former TNA star as well, I guess briefly. Gene Snitsky will be joining us on the air in just a couple minutes' time. And I am really looking forward to this. You said he had a movie coming out or something, didn't you, Kathie?
Yeah. Yeah, Stro, you and he will have something in common. It's one of those freaky, scary movies.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I know we have a bunch
I've seen some clips, and it's like, yeah, no. I'll be
Not
having
from
dreams
him.
for weeks.
Not from him. I know. Like I've got a bunch of people that I'm friends with in common through the WXW crowd at Valentine. Pops, all that stuff. Kathie, obviously, you're familiar with him. Stro, are you familiar with Gene?
Yes, absolutely.
Very cool.
Is.
Yeah, it's funny. Like, I mean, a lot of people, I guess, don't really think about how many times different, like, wrestlers, like, paths might cross, because, I think WCW for Stro and stuff like that, or Smoky Mountain, whatever the case may be. But, then you've got Snitsky coming along a couple years later. But, it's a wacky little community, I guess you'd say, quite the brotherhood. So we're very lucky. We are very lucky. I don't know what my rambling mess is about tonight. But let me give out the number. I see we got a couple callers in the queue already. Our usual crew actually just left. I guess they weren't too happy about Snitsky. But if you want to call in, be part of the show here tonight, 914-338-1885. That's 914-338-1885. So that's where we're at with that. We got the brand split coming up in a couple weeks. Oh, God, I forgot to turn the sound down on my phone. Bet you it's not going to let me. And so now anytime I get a text, there's going to be this little clinging in my ear. Okay. Oh, well.
I just want to give you guys both warning.
Coming up.
I want to give you guys both warning. My filter is off tonight.
Now, why is it?
I've had way too much peach sangria this past 3 days.
Oh, no.
Yes.
I mean, it's an awesome drink, but my filter is off tonight. Okay?
Big fan of the sangria.
Oh, try the peach one. Yeah. You're supposed to put a half a bottle of you're supposed to put a half a bottle of peach schnapps. Yeah, we kind of misread the directions to put the whole bottle.
Oh boy.
Well, it was good though.
I'll bet. No, that's fantastic. But the last thing I need, Kathie, is no filter, so.
Life's tough, Brady. Deal with it.
Yeah.
I got Snitsky for you tonight, okay?
You did. I
get carte blanche tonight.
You do. I've been trying to get Snitsky for 6 weeks now, so I appreciate that, Kathie. And we're going to get him on the line in just a minute or so. I also have, and this is kind of a teaser, it's not necessarily for right this minute, but I lined up somebody next week for next week's show. This was kind of unexpected. It kind of fell in my lap the other day. But I am going to talk about that later on, so make sure you stay tuned. More of a mainstream guest this time, not necessarily wrestling related, but I think it'll be fantastic just from everything that I've read and seen from this guy. So we're going to talk about that a little bit later on in the show. I'm very excited about that. As I mentioned, we have the brand split coming up in just a couple weeks time now, I guess, right? What do we have? Mm-hmm. One more Raw and SmackDown, and then it's off to this draft lottery.
Yeah, how awesome was it to have Vicky come out last night?
You know what? I was thinking when they started introducing the different general managers every week, I just thought, they're saving Vicky. I knew it.
Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. But anyway, let's bring on the guest right now. I'm very excited about this, Kathie. I know you. It's amazing to me the way you work your magic. You get the fingers going or whatever, and we get these amazing guests time after time, and it thrills me. Joining myself, Brady Hicks, Kathie, the Stro, joining us right now, former WWE star, and one of my favorite all-time personas in wrestling, Gene Snitsky. What's going on, Gene?
What's up, guys? Thanks for having me. I'm thrilled to be here. If I could do anything on a Tuesday night at 9:08, it would definitely be this.
Thank you.
Awesome.
And I gotta say too, you are the owner of one of the best, the best voicemail recording I've ever heard in my life.
Not my fault. I'm multi-talented. Everything I do is fantastic.
What have you been up to since we've last seen you on TV? I mean, it's been a little while.
About 270, a lean and vascular 270.
Nice.
I'm up to a lot of things. I have more things in the pot than should be legal. No marijuana reference there either, in case you were wondering.
It's medicinal. It's okay.
I don't condone anything other than what helps you live your life to the fullest. So, did you get that?
Yes.
Think about that
yes,
for a
I
second.
Did. I feel like I've been partaking there. It feels like you have had one of the more memorable runs with any major company that I can ever think of. Some of the things that you've done. First of all, what was it like to punt that baby? What was it, 30, 40 feet into the air?
It was, at the moment, I didn't think much of it, to be quite honest with you. I was just performing and doing my character, and, Vince told me that we were going to be doing that, and I just like, okay. And he's like, the funny story behind it is he was like, don't F it up. Whatever you do, don't F it up. I said, Vince, I'm not going to F it up. I was the all-area punter on my football team. Trust me, I got this.
Well, how did that catch for you? You referenced it already earlier. It's what you're known for. That it's not my fault. How did that kind of come about? A lot of people were curious.
Well, I'm glad you did your research, number one. And number two.
Wasn't that hard?
Yeah, that's what she said.
Oh boy.
Anyway, I digress. In the second Raw I was on, I got interviewed by JR, and he just was like, "So, what happened?" Blah blah blah. And I don't remember the exact verbiage, but it basically came down to me saying, she shouldn't have been in the ring anyway. It's not my fault it happened. And then it just kind of stuck after that, and every day of my life now I hear it's not my fault, ha ha ha. So.
So it was actually something that you just kind of offhandedly put out there. It wasn't like a planned thing what it grew into.
No, it just kind of happened, and that's the best way for it to happen, I think. Just organically came out, and, you know, the rest is history, so to speak. Like I said, every day of my life, and it's no exaggeration, every day of my life, someone says that to me, messages it to me, or text messages it to me. In some way, shape, or form, and every day of my life, I hear it's not my fault.
Well, that sounds like hell. That sounds terrible.
It's actually pretty cool. I mean, you know, it obviously resonated with people, or they still wouldn't be talking about it 12 years later. So, I mean, as a performer, that's cool to have people still remember all the stuff about it. So, I mean, to me, it's very rewarding because I knew I portrayed the character to the fullest extent that I could, and people still remember it and talk about it. And, you know, I've been on numerous WWE DVDs for top 50 oh my God moments and this and that and the other thing. So, obviously, it resonated with the fans, and the fans enjoyed it. So, I mean, as a performer, that's all you could ask for. So.
Mm-hmm. Now, as a performer, you know, to kind of look at it, let's say you tune into Raw or whatever, and you've got these guys that are memorizing speeches supposedly that are just handed to them by writers or whatever. How do you feel about that?
Honestly, fellas, I can't really speak too much about the modern product today because I don't really watch it. To me, my whole concept of pro wrestling is larger-than-life characters, bigger-than-life stars. Like when I was a kid watching it, flipping through the channels, that's what caught my attention. The over-the-top characters, the larger-than-life guys, the superhero physiques. Like, none of that exists these days. There's one or two guys that are, you know, even look like they work out, and it just doesn't interest me, to be quite honest with you.
Okay, so to look back on kind of your start in wrestling and everything, you kind of referenced
what you were expecting me to say, is it?
No. No, it wasn't, but I'm fine going
there was
in that
like
direction.
An uncomfortable moment of silence there for a minute.
Oh, no, you know what?
Brady Gene.
If
That's
it seems
normal
uncomfortable, if it seems uncomfortable, it's just because there's a delay in the line, and I just want to make sure that you get everything out before I cut you off. Well, you referenced kind of being a fan growing up, but what kind of wrestling? What was it that caught your eye about wrestling when you were younger that made you think, maybe I want to do this for a living?
I can still vividly remember it. I mean, I was 10 years old, laying on the floor at my mom and dad's house watching TV, flipping through the channels, and caught Hulk Hogan doing one of his over-the-top interviews, and I was like, oh, this is pretty interesting. And I just started watching it. And, you know, there's Spectrum Wrestling on the Prism Network, and then you got, you know, everybody has the attachment to the back of the TV with the aluminum foil hooked with the Prism, and then really watching wrestling and all fuzzy. You know, it's just like the fusion.
Uh-oh. Are we losing them, or are we losing me? Can you guys hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. Well, hopefully he'll come back.
I hear him.
Yeah, he's like, he kind of pixelated, and then he kind of left us there. Are you there, Gene?
Bill?
There you are.
Yes, I'm here.
I think we lost you there for a minute. I didn't get any of that answer.
Okay.
Ugh. Well, that stinks.
Are you there?
Yeah, I can hear you, but barely. I'm going to try and call you right back, and let's see if we can get that a little better. For whatever reason, it just keeps dropping out. Let's see what I can do here. Sorry about that, guys. I guess sometimes these kind of things happen. Right, Kathie?
Always.
Always when you're dealing with Blog Talk, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's try it again. It's not his fault. It's probably AT&T's fault, at least from my end.
Oh,
Gene, are you there?
Can I take your order, please? Oh, you want the order? Oh, you want the cream of some young guy? Is that what you're saying?
Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay, so you were saying about your childhood, about loving wrestling. Go for it. Let's try this again.
So what I was saying was, before I was rudely interrupted, was that as I can vividly remember as a child flipping through the channels and catching Hulk Hogan doing an over-the-top interview, and just spurred my interest in watching wrestling. And then, being from Pennsylvania, we had Spectrum Wrestling, and they had a cable station back then called Prism. And all the people would get, like, the little gimmick to attach to the back of the TV with the aluminum foil and all that shit to pick up Prism Spectrum Wrestling. And it was all fuzzy, and you'd watch it and be like, oh, this is the best thing ever. And now it's like you have 1,000 different cable channels, and you're overwhelmed with wrestling stations now. So it's it's just funny how things have progressed from the time I was a kid till now. But yeah, the basic thing that caught my eye about wrestling was the over the top characters and the larger than life personas. It just was so cool as a kid to watch like the whole showman aspect of it.
Well, I know you rushed up on the larger than life personas that you missed earlier. How do you feel about what could improve the product today, as far as moving forward to making it much better? With the over the top personas and all that. What else do you think that could really help turn things around?
I mean, like I said, I don't really watch it, so I can't really speak on like what would be best for it or what would be bad for it or good for it. But I mean, just in general, with wrestling, you want to. To me, as a fan, and I can only speak for myself, I can't speak for the general population, but I like to see the larger than life guys, the physiques, the characters. Like these days they're all cookie cutter guys. It seems like everybody's the same. Nobody really to me, nobody really stands out. I mean, like if I am flipping through the channels and catch any of it, it's like and then It just doesn't keep my interest, to be quite honest with you.
Well, one thing that's striking me, and I didn't really realize this about you, Gene, because I don't know you personally, but I didn't realize what a personality you have, like how funny you are, just naturally funny. Does it ever bother you to kind of look back on your time with WWE and to think that maybe that personality never got displayed the way it could have been?
No, I mean, not really. I mean, I was portraying a character, and Snitsky just happened to be the character. I mean, they could have put me in a red jumpsuit, and I could have been the red jumpsuit guy. You know what I mean? It's just the way it is. You get a character and you run with it. And I was put in a situation where it was either, run with the storyline they gave you, or go back to OVW and toil around in developmental for 2 or 3 years, like all the guys that were there at the time. So, I took the ball, I ran with it, I did what I did, and like I said, I'm proud of my work. I mean, I took a pile of shit and made it a pile of gold. People are still talking about it 12 years later, so I obviously did something right.
And they really are. I mean, yeah, definitely. Now, looking back on your time, you didn't spend that much time in Ohio Valley Wrestling. Do you consider that to be some sort of a, trying to think of the right word, Kathie, an homage to your greatness? The fact that you pretty much came right up and never went back.
Well, I mean, not to blow my own horn, but toot toot. I was always just a natural athlete. I played pro football. I was always really good at basketball. I was always really good at baseball. All the sports I played, I was usually the best guy on the team. So it wasn't really hard for me to pick it up. Like when I started training with the Samoans in Allentown with Alpha, I mean, it just all came natural to me. And as you can see, I have a goofy personality, and I like to goof around. And all wrestling really is the over the top personas with the athleticism. It's just an athletic soap opera. And I was already a professional athlete before I got into wrestling. So to me, it was just the perfect combination of my personality with the athleticism. So it just actually came natural to me. So, I mean, it mostly, and then, just being put in the right situation at the right time and running with it, I don't think there's anybody else in the world that they could have took and put in that position and did what I did.
No, you fit that.
Thanks.
No, and that's really a cool thing. Now, anytime I get one of the Ohio Valley guys on, I gotta ask them. One of my favorite characters from OVW is Kenny Bolin. He's a good friend of the show and everything. What do you have any really cool Kenny Bolin stories from your time down there?
Well, it's funny because when I first started at OVW, Kenny was one of the first guys that I hung out with, actually. Him and I just clicked, and I don't know why or how, but, I used to go over to his house and hang out and watch, the pay-per-views, and we'd always go out after the Wednesday night TV tapings from the what was the name of the arena?
The Gardens, Louisville Gardens.
Louisville Gardens, yeah. So
yeah.
We'd go over to Hooters. We'd always hit Hooters after the shows or go out to eat somewhere. And, on weekends when we didn't have, like on a Sunday after, a Saturday night spot show or whatever, I'd go over to his house and we'd go out to the buffet and eat. And he always had hookups for every single restaurant. It was great. So I never had to spend any money for food. Kenny'd always hook me up, and I was one of his boys. So he'd always call me or text me, "Hey, coming over for dinner?" And I'd, of course I'm coming. We'd hang out. Like, he was a cool dude, man. To this day, I still talk to him all the time.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'll never forget. I'll never forget. Whoever it was that told me this, but the story about him at Al Snow's wedding setting up a gimmick table and selling his stuff. To me, that's just like,
I don't know about that.
That's priceless.
I can't say I witnessed that, but hey, if he did, he did. And it's America, so it's free commerce. You can do whatever the hell you want.
Exactly. Exactly. Another guy that's had a huge influence on your career would be Afa, the Samoan. You being from Pennsylvania, I'm a Pensy guy as well. What was it that made you want to train with those guys, with the Samoans? I mean, that's a little intimidating.
I mean, I wasn't intimidated. I mean, it's, if anything, it was an honor to get to meet them and work out with them. It was interesting. I mean, they really, back then, when you got broken into business, it was the 1,000 squats, it was the putting up the ring, taking the ring down. It was, you did all that kind of stuff before you took your first bump. I mean, so it was all, with Pops, it was all about respect. And one of the first things he ever teaches is, if you ever go into a locker room, always introduce yourself to everybody and just go and sit in the corner and be quiet and, have the respect for the business. A lot of guys these days don't have that. Like, you go to indie shows now and nobody introduces themselves. They all think they're superstars and they haven't done shit,
Mhm.
No, that's interesting. And so it sounds like he was very traditional in what he taught you. Looking back on that time period with WXW when you were there, I believe Batista was there the same time as you as well, wasn't he?
He was actually on his way out when I was on my way in, but I did meet him and stuff. I didn't do shows with him or anything like that, but yeah, I've known Dave for a long, long time.
Well, you guys shared quite the locker room there at WXW. Did you kind of ever just sit back and just go like, wow, I mean, you've done some really cool things, but like that particular locker room, which at the time I guess was a feeder for WWE, that must have been a really cool thing to be a part of, just to take in that experience.
Well, I mean, just to be able to learn from one of the legends in the wrestling business is cool enough, But then also to be fortunate enough to be one of his main guys and, be considered part of the Anawati family. I mean, I can't really describe the feeling. It's just one of those things where, Pops took me under his wing, and he developed me. And when he felt I was ready, he got me a dark match. And then, a few months after that, I got signed. So, I mean, I was the champ there for the longest time. And then, I had to give up the belt when I left for WWE. So, I mean, there was, there's a lot of history between me and the family. And, to this day, I still do a lot of shows for WXWC4, which Samu runs now. And Alpha Junior has a federation now. I still do a lot of stuff. I was his number one draft pick for the Battlefield Pro Wrestling. So, I mean, yeah, I'm still real tight with the family. I talk to them all the time. As a matter of fact, I was just on a show with Samu for WXWC4 up in Sunbury a week or two ago, and we're going back up there on July 30th for a tables, ladders, and chairs match. Me and Sam are tagging up against Dylan Dean and the British Wolf, so should be a hell of a show. If anybody out there is listening in the area, stop by, check it out. Be a great, great show to take the family to. It's at the Sunbury Skating Rink, and always a great show at WXWC4. And like I said, I'm still super close with the family, and I wouldn't be where I am today if it wasn't for Pops and the whole family.
And we'll make sure to throw up the links for those shows as well, so that anyone that's in the area will be able to check that out. Snitsky, if you were to look back on your career, and like I said, you had that kind of memorable run with WWE. Was there like a consummate moment when you just kind of sat back and like just kind of took it all in and was just like, wow, like it's not going to get any cooler than this?
I'm not one of those kind of guys that sits and thinks about the past. Like I'm one of those type A personalities where I'm always looking for the next challenge. So, like to me, wrestling was just a small fragment of my life. So I don't sit around and go, oh, that was great when I clotheslined Paul London off the apron and blah, blah, blah. Like people send me that video all the time, and it's like, yeah, I know I did that. Thank you. You know what I mean? I'm not that guy. I don't sit around watching my old matches. I don't sit around watching video footage of myself. I don't Google myself. That's just not me. Like I've moved on from wrestling. I have my own beard care line. I have a movie I just co-produced. I have, partnership with Phoenix Kinetic Cream, transdermal pain relieving cream. I'm a sponsored athlete by Vitargo, the world's best carbohydrate. I mean, I have so many other things going on. It's just a small piece of the Snitsky world. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sure.
Mm-hmm.
So looking back on I'm remembering this time. Many fans remember this as opposed to the "it's not my fault" stuff. But when you were kind of featured on the ECW brand, I remember that they shaved your head, they shaved your eyebrow, or I guess you did. You shaved your head, you shaved your eyebrows, you colored your teeth, and I thought, damn, like there's a guy that's dedicated to his job.
Like I said, I'm a performer and I'm there to do a job, and if I audition for the role of a psycho madman that has to run around in his underwear, well then if I get the part, that's what I got to do. You know what I mean? So to me, it was just another character to portray, and I got an action figure out of it. I'm on the video games. I got merchandise. Who else could say that? You know what I mean? There's not a lot of guys in the world that could say they have action figures and are on video games and, all that kind of stuff. And like I said, 12 years later, people are still talking about it. So
yeah,
that's the most rewarding thing to me, that people remember you enough to still ask you the same questions over and over and over.
Well, let's talk about your film. I know that you have a movie that you're working on.
Let's talk about that
soon.
film.
Yeah, I want to hear about this thing.
Well, let me tell you about it. It's called 100 Acres of Hell. It's based on a synopsis that my partner Jason Kerner and I came up with. Very true to my life. My brother was a big fan of mine, and he loved horror movies. And I got really depressed when he passed away unexpectedly at a very young age. And it took a lot for me to really come out of that. And the movie touches upon getting down in the dumps and being down on your luck, and my buddies have to take me out and try to cheer me up for Bros Weekend. We do Bros Weekend every year, and I hadn't done it the last few years because I was depressed and all that kind of stuff. So they take me out, try to cheer me up, make a long story short, we end up at an old game preserve that time forgot about, and there's an inbred killer that lives there, and he doesn't take very kindly to us being on his property and starts killing off, one by one all my friends. And basically it comes down to, do I want to have the fight to live, or do I just want to give up the fight and die? So I have to find the fighter in myself to live or die. So, there's a story behind it. It's, it's true to life. It's got a lot of, sentimental value to me. It's, something my brother would have really loved to have seen. Him and I used to always, really enjoy watching like Friday the 13th and Halloween and all that. So we wanted to do like a true, old school horror flick where there's tension built and a big climax and a good story behind it. And the fight scene's going to be off the charts. I was the fight coordinator and the stunt director, so it's it's going to be awesome. Wait until you guys see the fight scene. It's crazy. But if you want to, we're doing our Indiegogo campaign right now, as a matter of fact. The post-production is very, very expensive, so my pockets aren't that deep. So we started an Indiegogo campaign. You can check that out at 100acresofhell.com, 100acresofhell.com. Sign up. We got a lot of really cool perks, once-in-a-lifetime opportunities, and, it's also one of the other stars of the movie is Samu. He plays the villain, so, I want to give back to the people that helped me. So the first person I thought of was Sam to play the bad guy. So
that's awesome.
It's a cool flick. It's really going to turn a lot of people's heads. And, like I said, I wanted to do a true old school horror movie because they're the kind that I like the best. My favorite horror movies are Halloween or Friday the 13th. So I wanted to do a little throwback to that stuff, to where there's an actual story and not just someone getting blown up in the first 5 seconds of the movie. So,
is it something where you always envisioned yourself being that kind of a monster? I'm just curious.
I'm actually the hero in the movie, but thanks.
Oh, my apologies.
Are you not paying attention?
I'll make sure to check that out.
Sam plays the villain. Get the
He does
potatoes
it every
out
so
of
often, Gene. He does it every so often, Gene.
Sorry about that.
Guy invites me on the show and doesn't even got the goddamn information right. I'll tell you.
Oh my!
Yes,
my apologies
I'm the good guy. So now you have to go and donate to the campaign, you cheap son of a gun.
You got that right about me.
Gene, you got that right.
Yes.
Gene, you said you played pro football. Who'd you play for?
I was at camp with the Chargers, and then I tore my labrum, and then after I got better, I played with the CFL Birmingham Barracudas.
Okay.
And then started to train to wrestle about maybe 2 years after that. So it was kind of, boom, boom, boom kind of thing. But the shoulder was giving me a bit of a problem, so I had to kind of retire from football. And then once it healed up to where I could start training to wrestle, I started training to wrestle. So, and ironically, ever since I've had the surgery, it's been great. So, and
great.
I've been through a lot physically with the football and wrestling. So, it's a good thing that the doctors are as good as they were, because I thought for sure they would have never lasted as long as it did.
Wow, that's good.
Yeah, I had it operated on back in '93. So.
Yeah, I'll be going under the knife in a few weeks.
Oh, good luck. I've had more operations and stuff stuck into me than I care to ever remember.
Oh.
Between cortisone shots and MRIs and arthroscopic surgery and this and that and the other thing. But it's all good. It's not tiddlywinks,
There you go.
I've often wondered how it is. And you hear this so often where, like, a guy will be playing football and he'll get hurt, and he'll make the turn and go into wrestling. I mean, wrestling is just as physical. How is it that you could be recovering from an injury, and wrestling seems like a logical choice? I never quite understood that.
Believe it or not, I wanted to wrestle before I wanted to play football. Because like I said, I started watching wrestling when I was like 10 years old. and I always wanted to do it. I just always thought it was great, and it just so happened I, got bigger and stronger and became a really good athlete as well. So when someone, offers you a Division I football scholarship, you're not usually going to pass it up because it's, my parents didn't have any money. My mom worked in a sewing factory and my dad worked in a pressure casting plant. So if I wouldn't have got a full scholarship to college, I probably wouldn't have went to college because they couldn't have afforded to send me. So, I was fortunate enough to get a lot of scholarship offers because, I was first team All-State in football in Pennsylvania and, got recruited by all the major colleges throughout the country. So, I got a free education. I have a degree in hotel restaurant management from the University of Missouri. And, once I got all that done and ran the football course, I always knew in the back of my mind I was going to do the wrestling thing. So, like I said, once I was 100% healed and felt capable of getting through the training, that's when I started doing the wrestling. So,
I got you.
Yeah, I mean, everything happens for a reason. I was meant to wrestle, I guess, and do what I did. So.
Well, one final question, at least from my end, and something that the listeners have been clamoring for me to ask you on the messages and stuff like that. With the brand split coming up that WWE has, I'm sure you've heard about this. There's a lot of rumor, a lot of talk that former stars from the early and mid-2000s are going to be making a comeback. Is that something, if WWE approached you about coming back, being a part of Raw or SmackDown on a weekly, regular basis again, is that something that you'd be up to?
I don't know. I'd have to give it a lot of serious consideration. I'm so set in my ways right now with my wife and my dog and doing what I want to do when I want to do it. I mean, going back to WWE on that schedule, I mean, you're pretty much – a slave to the grind. They just run you into the ground, and when they tell you to jump, you say how high. It's not, you can't say, well, I'll think about it. They're pretty demanding when it comes to being somewhere and giving you, your time to them. I don't know if at this point in my career I'd be willing to do that unless, obviously there was a lot of zeros behind the first number, but, never say never in the wrestling world, they always tell you, but I could 99.9% surely say you will never see me at WWE again.
And I do believe you, because just sitting back and listening to you for the last half hour, you strike me as somebody who's just very content and very happy to just live in the moment and enjoy what you're doing and not necessarily look back on this other time in your life where you're just happy with all these projects that you've got going on.
Yeah, I mean, life's just a bunch of chapters, and that's, like I said, one fragment of my life. And, it was a great time and it was, fun, and I got to travel the world and perform for thousands of people all over the world. So, for a guy from little old Nesquehoning, Pennsylvania, population 3,527, with one stoplight, I think I did okay.
You did great.
Absolutely.
And I'm extremely proud to come from where I come from. I always tell people when I was 13, 14, 15 years old, anybody that would listen to me, I'd tell them, you're either going to see me on Monday Night Raw or you're going to see me in the NFL. So I was fortunate enough to do both. And like I said, for a small town coal region kid to be able to live his dream and do what he enjoys doing and, tell people that I was going to do it, it's kind of cool.
That's awesome.
You've certainly given memories to millions of fans around the world. So thank you for everything as far as that goes. Gene, before we
appreciate it. Thanks for being a fan, and thanks for enjoying my work, because I always tell people if it wasn't for the fans, there'd be no wrestlers, there'd be no Snitsky. So unfortunately, a lot of guys forget about that. Once they become popular or get some sense of stardom, they forget about their fans and the people that got them there. So unfortunately, I see that happen more often than not. But I always, I'll always sign an autograph. I'll always take a picture, and I don't mind it at all. I love it. If you ever see me out in public, don't be afraid to come up and talk to me. I'm probably one of the more approachable guys, even though I look like I'm a big scary monster. I'm probably the nicest guy around, and Kathie could tell you. So.
Yeah, she sneak up behind me and tap me on the back and scare the daylights out of me.
I like to have fun too, so I'm always trying to goof around and make people laugh. And life's too short to be grumpy and miserable all the time, so I like to have fun and goof around, and I don't take things too serious because it could all end the next day or the next hour. You could, fall down the steps at your house and break your neck, and anything could happen. You got to live for the moment.
True that. Speaking of wanting to have fun and enjoy life and everything, how would you feel about recording a bumper for us to play on the beginning of the show?
Oh my God, a bumper?
Yeah.
That's what you're calling it these days?
Well, that's what I was taught by my mentor in radio to call it. Yeah, absolutely, a bumper.
This isn't radio. This is freaking podcast, man. Come on.
Yeah, but I'm going to play it in the beginning of the show, and you're going to tell us that it's not our fault. It's not your fault.
It's called an intro.
Okay, an intro, whatever.
God.
I've been calling it a bumper for 7 years. What do you want from me? I don't know.
It's not my fault. All right, what do you
You're
want?
You're awesome, Gene. Okay, so the name of the show's In the Room, and however you can craft it. I know
that's the name of the show, In the Room.
Yeah, you don't like the name. You're like the only person that
Why don't you just call it In the Closet or something? Jesus.
Well,
In the Room.
That's my particular area of the room. Now
I'm just teasing.
Oh.
That's cool. I love the name. No, I don't.
It's great because when we have a guest, I can say that you were in the room, and
yeah, but
it's always worked. I don't know. What do you want?
It could be the bathroom. It could be the basement. I don't know. What room?
I should.
Jeez, it's so vague. All right, just tell me when you want me to do it, and I'll do it.
Okay, you're good.
Hey, this is former WWE superstar Snitsky and the star of the new horror feature film 100 Acres of Hell, and I'm in the room. I don't know what room, but I'm in the room. And if you don't listen to In the Room, it's not my fault.
Thank you so much. I'll be sure to put up the link for the film in the Indiegogo as well with the description,
thanks,
so we'll make sure to send that out. I appreciate your time tonight.
Oh, no worries,
Thank you,
guys.
Gene.
Thanks, Kathie. Thanks for having me on. I'll talk to you guys soon.
Take care.
All right. Night.
Former WWE star Gene Snitsky, the star of 100 Acres of Hell. So be sure to check that out. Like I said, we'll put the links up for that. He's the lead baby face. I missed that. I missed that. I didn't understand him to be saying that. But okay, that works. It's going to be a tremendous film, but I cannot see him as a good guy.
And Samu was a heel.
He was even a heel on the show. Like, how can he be a good guy in a movie? I'm just having fun, of course. Now, Gene is awesome. I actually did have the opportunity to meet him a couple years ago at a convention, and I had the opportunity to talk to him a few years ago, actually as part of the VOC Nation radio network, when Tommy Fierro had a program. I forget what he called it. I guess it was just Who's Slamming Who. And, Tommy Fierro, at the time I was producing for him for his maybe Thursday show. I'm not sure. I think it was Wednesday or Thursday. And he had Snitsky on, so I would be the producer calling these guests and kind of talking to them before I put them on the air with Tommy. And, he was hilarious. Even back then, I said I was the producer. And he started making fun of me for like what kind of a special person has to produce a podcast. He's like, so basically you're the guy that just dials the number while someone else is talking. It doesn't matter. I'm just so Gene Snitsky, tremendous guy, And all best of luck with the film and everything with that. We're going to take a commercial break. And on the other side, we will be sure to get to the callers, which at the moment is only one, which is good. That's a nice, manageable number, especially when it's not Dustin. 914-338-1885. That's 1885. This is In the Room on the VOC Nation Radio Network, and we'll be right back.
Live from the In the Room studios located in the Net Carrier and Cloud. This is the VOC Nation Radio Network.
Hey everyone, it is your favorite knockout, Mickie James, and you're listening to the VOC Nation.
Voice of Choice Wrestling Nation.
Heard worldwide.
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 Worldwide, baby. Worldwide, man.
Worldwide.
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 En el mundo todo.
Worldwide.
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 Worldwide. On VOCNation.com.
Interested in advertising with the VOC Nation Radio Network, whether on the website or across our syndicated network of podcasts? Contact VOCNation.com for advertising information for the possibility to save 40% on what you will spend on an ad.
Hey, it's me, the mouth of the South, Jimmy Hart. Net Carrier has many great products and services to increase your bottom line. Be sure to ask your Net Carrier representative about our hosted PBX. Call Net Carrier today for a free analysis of your phone bills. 877-255-7733. That's right, 877-255-7733. Call now.
Let's get it out! It happens every morning. You watch Raw, and then you react to it. 11:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Every single Monday. The Raw Reaction, worldwide, on the VOC Nation. The most polarizing personalities worldwide. This is the VOC Nation Radio Network.
Diners, Nevada Style Pub invites you to play the best tavern, keno, and video poker in Vegas. We just gave away over $444,000 in daily free play, with even more to come. It's not only great gaming that Snyder's Pub has, it's the best bar food and beer list to match our hospitality. Are you ready for some football? Drink Miller and ice-cold craft beer starting at just $2.50. Don't miss your chance to win 12 55-inch TVs, or win $100,000 in cash by drinking Svedka vodka. Snyder's, the Nevada Style Pub at 8410 West Cheyenne, 1750 North Buffalo, and Las Vegas Boulevard in Windmill. Snyder's, I love this place!
Are you a fan of classic pro wrestling? Universal Wrestling Archives has a library of over 1,200 hours of pro wrestling action. The largest classic pro wrestling library after the WWE. See stars like Ric Flair, the Junkyard Dog, the Midnight Express, the Rock and Roll Express, Dr. Death Steve Williams, Hacksaw Jim Duggan, the Fabulous Freebirds, and more. UWA provides DVD collections of episodes from Mid-South Wrestling, Power Pro Wrestling, and the Universal Wrestling Federation. There's also a special house show collection featuring rare wrestling footage only seen here. Visit www.universalwrestling.com or find them on Facebook and Twitter.
This is Becky Nova, your Candyland princess, and I want everyone to know that I love VOCNation.com.
Hey, how's it going? This is Amy Dumas, but you may know me as Lita. You're listening to the VOC Nation.
This is Hilo Brown, and right here, right now, you better recognize that I am down with the VOC Nation. Now recognize that right now.
Diners, Nevada Style Pub invites you to play the best tavern, keno, and video poker in Vegas. We just gave away over $444,000 in daily free play, with even more to come. It's not only great gaming that Snyder's Pub has, it's the best bar food and beer list to match our hospitality. Are you ready for some football? Drink Miller and ice-cold craft beer starting at just $2.50. Don't miss your chance to win 12 55-inch TVs, or win $100,000 in cash by drinking Svedka vodka. Snyder's, the Nevada Style Pub at 8410 West Cheyenne, 1750 North Buffalo, and Las Vegas Boulevard in Windmill. Snyder's, I love this place!
Hey, it's me, the mouth of the South, Jimmy Hart. And if you're looking for the best sports and entertainment memorabilia, you got to check out my friends at American Icon Autographs. It's awesome, baby. Hey, check out the best memorabilia in town. They've got thousands of authentic autographs. That's right. Take it from me, the mouth of the South, Jimmy Hart. If you want sports memorabilia, baby, you got it. Baseball, basketball, hockey, Playboy Playmates, even wrestling. They're awesome, baby. Don't get caught in a sleeper hole. You better check out American Icon Autographs.
Are you getting lost in the cloud? Is technology moving too fast for you? Find your way at netcarrier.com. Ride the end cloud and soar above your competition.
Looking for a DJ? Looking for someone to host your event? Then look no further. Philadelphia's hottest DJ and host, The Voice of Choice. The Voice of Choice has hosted the hottest events in the tri-state area. Book The Voice of Choice for all your karaoke, conventions, and parties. Go to www.vocnation.com for more information or email The Voice of Choice at voc@vocnation.com.
Hi, this is Anthony, and this is Gartee. We are the forces of radio, the faces for radio. Come relax with us. We love hosting Feces for Radio. That's Faces for Radio. Can you please remember to get the name of the show right? Sorry. We tackle sports, entertainment, and have a kick-ass soundboard. Oasis for Radio has it all. Faces for Radio. Find us on the VOCNation.com, listen to us live, or download it later. Follow us on Twitter at Faces for Radio 1. That's Faces for Radio. Funky for Radio. Shut up.
Time for the Funhouse with AK.
This is a comedy show, right? People drinking and acting stupid. I'm not funny, and I just cuss a lot. I'm an alcoholic.
Hey guys, AK here, reminding you to check out AK's Funhouse on VOCNation.com.
Okay, Philadelphia parents, listen up. Do you have a child in the house that's just about to learn how to drive? Well, you got to do this. You got to head over to DuncanSchoolOfDriving.com. Best of Bucks County. Keep that insurance down. Keep them accident-free. 5-639-1990. They're endorsed by the Pennsylvania Police Officers Association. DuncanSchoolOfDriving.com.
Entertainment with an attitude.
There is just one enemy.
This is the VOC Nation Radio Network.
Live from the In the Room studios located in the Net Carrier Enclave. This is the VOC Nation Radio Network.
Voice of Choice Wrestling Nation.
Heard worldwide.
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 Worldwide, baby. Worldwide, man.
Worldwide.
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 En el mundo todo.
Worldwide.
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 Worldwide. Worldwide. On VOCNation.com.
You need dating and relationship advice, and we're the ladies to give that to you, and a whole lot more. That dating show with SportsX Michelle and Pamela Michelle, right here on VOC Nation.
This is a phenomenal one.
Sometimes the world looks perfect, nothing to rearrange. Sometimes you just get a feeling like you need some kind of change.
All right. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning in the room right here, VOC Nation Radio Network, VOCNation.com, TheBradyHicks.com. We're so happy to have you here tonight. I'm just like a bowl of cherries. I'm just thrilled. How sincere did that sound? No, I'm only kidding. It's one of those nights, you know. Gene Snitsky. I never realized what a personality he was. I mean, I guess I did to a certain extent. I've dealt with him before, producing for Tommy Fierro on this very network a few years ago. And Gene was kind of cutting on me for being a producer for a podcast. But, I mean, you know, it is what it is. It was a great time. Everybody should definitely check out 1,000 Acres of Hell, I believe it is, 1000acresofhell.com.
100 Acres of Hell.
Sure. 100 Acres of Hell. See that? But when I put up the link, I will actually have the right thing there. So everybody check out that Indiegogo for that and make sure to donate lots and lots of money because that's expensive. Just a couple things. Jordan Garber now. I didn't promote it last time. He had Ken Anderson, Mr. Kennedy, Mr. Anderson, whatever, a couple weeks ago. I did notice that show got some traction with the newsletters, so good for him. That's very cool. Tonight, actually, Jordan Garber now returns to the airwaves at 11:30 Eastern. He's going to have Scott Steiner, Big Papa Pump, on for a real short interview there. So be sure to check that out on VOCNation.com. And I'd be remiss, I know this is an interview that not everyone is going to be. As a wrestling fan, this isn't something that everyone's going to be like, rah, rah, like, yeah. But it's a really cool concept, and I'm really excited to talk to this guy next week, Kathie. I lined him up. Have you guys heard of the show, The Man in the High Castle? It's for Amazon Films. Are you guys familiar with the show?
No.
Okay. It's a really cool. It's kind of like an adventure thriller kind of TV show. Like I said, Amazon Films produced the thing, and the concept behind it is that the United States lost World War II. So Germany has overtaken the U.S. They flattened Washington, D.C. They made New York City the capital of basically the United States of America, Germany, basically.
Mm-hmm.
They basically cut off the Western Hemisphere from like the Colorado Rockies over to the Pacific Ocean, and they gave that to Japan. And Germany controls most of the rest of the country, basically. And basically it's like a world empire between those two countries. And it's really interesting. It's about like just a series of like kind of counter-revolutionaries trying to win back the United States, fighting against Nazis and stuff like that. And at the same time, every day, because this takes place in the 60s, Hitler's still alive. He's a lot older. He's got Parkinson's and everything. And he's going to die. And there's a lot of concern that the Japanese and the Germans are going to basically launch World War III for total control, basically, because they're not getting along very well. And it's a really interesting concept. It's a really neat idea. And so I posted a thing on Twitter about liking the show and really just everybody should check it out or whatever. And one of the actors on the program, his name is Lee Shorten. He plays Sergeant Yoshida on the show. He's a pretty prominent character on this program. And Lee Shorten is actually going to be joining us next week on In the Room to talk a little bit about Man in the High Castle.
Oh, cool.
So it should be a lot of fun. I'm actually really excited. I'm definitely going to make sure to watch more of these shows. I'm about 3 in. There's 10 of them for this season. There's another whole season still to come this year, so another 10 to 12 episodes or whatever it is. And this is for Amazon Films, so if you have Amazon Prime, if you've got a Kindle, anything like that, you should be able to stream it for free, basically. Otherwise, they're very affordable. You can go in and check them out. It's a really neat program. I definitely recommend it for anyone that's not familiar. It's really kind of surreal, Stro, to see a shot of New York City and like one of the skyscrapers has a giant swastika on top of it. It's really surreal.
That's crazy. Wow.
It's some of the images on the thing are really neat. And part of the theme of the whole show is that like America has already lost its identity and like, we're being ruled by the Germans, but at the same time, like the new generation almost doesn't know what it's like to have been American because they've grown up under this regime, So it's really interesting. It's a really cool concept, like I said. So anyway, Lee Shorten, you can check him out on Twitter at LCS or LC Shorten, I guess you'd say, and definitely excited for that interview next week. Real quick, I said we have a couple callers in the line. We're going to get to you guys. If anyone else wants to join them, the number is 914-338-1885. That's 1885. Let's go to the UK. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do what he likes, Kathie. I'm going to say it. The great Harry Barnett is here. What's going on, Harry? How are we feeling tonight?
You nearly got it wrong then, Hicks. You nearly got the name that for 7 years that you nearly have said on a weekly basis. You nearly got it wrong then. You nearly called me Hari, as I heard there.
Your name is Hari, isn't it?
Hicks, I'm going to forgive you because tonight feels like the night before Christmas. The night before Christmas, because tomorrow's a historic night, the debut of Bowling Alley TV. And, you know, it was good to hear a former Bowling Services, guy tonight in Snitsky, who may just be one of my top favorite in-the-room interviews just because of how much he was making fun of you. I mean, had he actually threatened you like Papa Don did and, you know, countless others, I probably would have been Snitsky's biggest fan.
Okay.
And that uncomfortable silence there again.
Just don't know what you want me to say.
No. See, I liked it better when we didn't like each other, and even if it was bad, you threw something back at me.
I still don't like you. I just, nothing changed there. I mean,
see, I did just say that. See, I did just set you up for that line on purpose. I wanted you to say that because that is funny.
Well, Harry, I guess you're as qualified as anybody. Do you have a really great Kenny Bolin story? And not one that he's told, but one that you've actually experienced.
One that I've actually experienced.
I know all his stories.
It depends. Are we sort of? Are you looking for me to expose the man? Are you just looking for all out funny? Because I mean, I don't know. I obviously spent that one day in Louisville. Go on, carry on, Hicks.
No, I was going to say, like, for me, the consummate Kenny Bolin story was Al Snow describing how Kenny Bolin set up the gimmick table at his wedding. To me, that
like Monty Python, right?
Right, exactly.
That was something completely different.
Yeah.
For my own personal stories, I mean, you know, I don't really have all that much. I only spent the one day with him in Louisville. Did I say that right? As Louisville people say, Louisville.
It's Louisville. Louisville.
I was told to say it. I was told by the Prince to actually say it the lazy way. You know, Louisville. You know, my own real experience from him was when the Prince, Kenny's son, Chris, took me to Kenny's home and just walking in and having his two dogs just going, well, one is blind and the other just going insane, just running wild, and he's just sitting there. And you look around, and all around his house, he's got all of this Kenny Bolin memorabilia. You know, he's got the license plates for anyone that actually lives in Louisville, actually seeing him drive around with these King B or what's his Beats by Bolin license plates and the stickers and headphones and stuff and crowns. It's like walking into a museum. It's quite funny. But as far as actually experiencing Kenny Bolin, I mean, people will be able to do that without even meeting the guy soon, because now that the Bowling Alley is a TV show every month, you're going to be able to watch what's going on. You're going to be able to see the guy as entertaining as everyone else says he is. You're going to be able to see for yourself, not just listen.
I'm curious, like, logistically, you're obviously in the UK. Are you going to be on this program as well, visually?
Yes, sir. Yes, I am.
So what is it going to be set up like a Skype session? Is that how people will be able to watch this?
Pretty much, yeah. It's going to be running through the Facebook and YouTube live streams. I'm told I can actually simulcast them. If I can't, then I'll probably repeat like the YouTube later on. But it's more than just watching on the Skype though, because we're going to have a few entertaining skits. Some pre-recorded stuff. I've already actually made an intro and we've got credits. Hicks, we're really moving up in the world. I mean, if you go back to the first day where I told you I was creating my own network and you were saying that I wasn't going to make it and this and that, you listen to us where it's literally just a bad quality stream. You can barely hear us. You can barely understand us. No music, no intro, nothing. You come and listen to us tomorrow, or you come and watch us tomorrow. We really made it, man. To have had Vince Russo on with us a couple of months ago, we're getting hundreds of thousands of people every month. We're really we're on that level.
Well, that's
plus,
good.
I'm contractually obligated to point out that Jim Cornette doesn't have a TV show. We do. Kenny told me to make sure I actually make that known. Cornette doesn't have a TV show. Hicks, we've even given some time to Jim Cornette's son, Little Jimmy LeBeau. He is going to be on the Bowling Alley TV show. Little Jimmy LeBeau. We look after the little guy.
No, fair enough, and I'm glad that you're feeling really good about this project, and I wish you guys nothing but the best. How's that? Did that sound sincere?
That sounded sincere. That's probably you channeling your inner Kenny Bolin and trying to scam someone. I will check my wallet in a minute. I don't know if you've tried to take something out of there. That I know these compliments don't come for free. It was about as believable as my hairline. No, I'm just kidding. No, I believe you.
Well, thank you so much, Harry. I appreciate it.
I shall do. I shall do. Oh, man.
You're a funny one. Wait. And Kathie, did you have a good birthday last week?
Yep, I very did, and I can actually remember most of it, too.
She just stopped drinking today.
You just stopped drinking today.
Last night.
That's some celebration, though.
Hey, gotcha.
Hey, Harry, you guys did a mock draft, did you not, for the upcoming WWE brand split? Did you guys ever follow through with that?
No, that was actually going to be tomorrow's show. See, that was the plan before I actually went out and bought a webcam and figured out how to work out the Facebook Live, and Kenny telling me that we're going to have a guest on with us. Before any of that happened, the plan was to obviously have a draft, a kind of our own draft rivaling that of what the WWE will be doing, because ours will probably be better. Even though Kenny told me he doesn't know enough names to be able to do a draft, I told him pick up the Wikipedia. You'll find a couple of names. It was going to be him and the Prince against me and a partner of my choosing. That original partner being you, but you turned me down because I didn't offer you enough to actually come on our show, Hicks. Then I went and asked Derek. Derek
said no as well.
No, Derek said he'll be there, but then 3 weeks later he didn't turn up, so,
Oh, man.
No, I'm just messing with you. No, so basically plans fell through, so, that's probably not going to happen now. The guest had to take priority. At the end of the day, it is Kenny's show. He gets the last say. He's the Vince McMahon to the WWE for the Bowling Alley, so, this was his plan, and the guest will be with us tomorrow night, facebook.com/The Bowling Alley, 6 p.m. live.
All right, there you go. So everybody go check that out. Our good friends, HIEC Talk Radio, ITR.com sponsoring that as well. Harry, I got a bunch of callers on the line, including some people who debatably are just as smart as you, if not smarter. So we're definitely going to get to everybody tonight.
You have drying paint on the line. It took me a couple of times to say that.
Would you like to say hi to drying paint? Hold on, I'll get drying paint on to say hi as you leave. What's going on, Dustin?
Which drying paint? Oh, I thought it was Rap Boy from
No.
Do you have Rap Boy as well?
Dustin?
Not much. There's some stuff going on with Deanna. Guess what? She had to sleep in a ditch.
What do you mean she had to sleep in a ditch?
She had nowhere to go.
Tired.
Why couldn't she sleep on, solid ground?
Did she at least have a pillow?
Well, she slept in a ditch because she doesn't want to get hit by a car and the road, so she has nowhere to go.
Why didn't you invite her to your house?
I'm not home. I'm not home. I'm in Sparta, Kentucky.
Kentucky.
Why? What's in Smyrna, Kentucky?
The NASCAR. I'm down here for the NASCAR races this weekend.
Why don't you take her with you?
Yeah.
It's out of my way.
How long until the trials, Joe?
Oh man.
Brady, did you hear? Did you hear Kevin Durant went to the Golden State Warriors?
Yeah, it's been all over the radio.
Yeah. There's a sucker born every minute, you know?
Would you like some sandwiches?
I'm excited.
Would you like some sandwiches?
I want a sandwich.
Yeah. All right. So we're going to move this along. Harry, thank you for calling in. Best of luck with your live program tomorrow. If I can call in, I will.
We'll happily have you. We'll happily welcome you on the show. Good day, Hicks.
Okay. Take care, Harry.
I say good day.
Yeah. No.
Bye.
And I'm not.
Hi, Harry.
I'm only kidding. I might call them. I'm only kidding. All right, Dustin. So Deanna's sleeping in a ditch. You're watching cars drive around in a circle. Where's your wife at?
She's with me, actually. So.
Why couldn't you bring Deanna? I don't understand.
It was out of my way. It's out of my way from Daytona. So.
Oh, you were driving from Daytona to Kentucky?
Yes. I just got to Kentucky a couple hours ago.
Wow. How far is that drive? Is that 3 or 4 hours, right?
It's quite a long ways when you depend traffic. It's quite a long ways.
Is there a lot of traffic between Daytona and
there usually is, yes. I get stuck in it. We left late. That's the problem.
Why don't you have a plane?
I'm better off driving than paying for a plane ticket.
That fraud Hillary Clinton has the president flying her around. Why don't you get something like that?
Let's talk some Raw. Man, that was a good Raw last night on July 4th.
Yeah.
Damn, no sound like Goldberg tonight, Dustin.
I know.
It was a hell of a Raw last night. Especially on July 4th. I couldn't believe it.
I just tried to put him in the William.
Brady, are you even here? Are we even here?
I'm here. I just
Kathie,
tried to put him in the. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I don't think Dustin can hear us.
Oh yeah, I tried to put him in the William Regal front face lock, and he just reversed it into a jackhammer. So.
So Brady, what did you think of the main event last night?
Well, refresh my memory. What was the main event again?
It was Team International Alliance versus Team USA, and it was Zack Ryder and Big Show, the last two remaining for Team USA.
Yeah, it was interesting, and I liked the concept. It was cool to see kind of good guys and bad guys mixed in, teaming together, and I did like the concept. I did. But the only thing I really remember from Raw is that stupid food fight.
I like that. I like that, especially with Kevin Owens hiding under the table. Yeah, but Kevin Owens been under the table with the potato chips.
Yeah, he was eating
should
the
just
chips,
stay there
and then he came up.
Chips.
And I like how the cameraman just kind of throws the pie in his face when he's leaving.
I like Jericho pulling out the Band-Aid out of his mouth. That was it.
Yeah.
Brady. I was surprised last night. I was watching. I was like, oh no. It was like Zack Ryder's never Big Show. He jumped up on Big Show. I was like, oh, that's a mistake. And then I thought the Big Show was gonna knock out Zack Ryder.
In his speech where he pushed USA and everything, there's no way he was gonna knock out Zack Ryder.
I thought he was because Big Show has a history of doing that to people.
Yeah, but not after how he spoke. And wearing the red, white, and blue? Nah.
Yeah, when the Dean Ambrose match popped up, I turned the channel.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I didn't watch it. I'm not much of an Ambrose fan. I really ain't. And I was happy that Seth Rollins defeated Dolph Ziggler. That's the only thing I was happy about. When Ambrose match popped up, I turned the channel.
I don't understand. I thought you were a huge Ambrose fan.
No, I'm a Seth Rollins fan. I always will be. I've been a Seth Rollins fan since he was known as Tyler Black and Ring of Honor.
What about when he was known as Colby Lopez in Davenport, Iowa? Were you a fan of his then?
What are we talking about here?
Okay.
We're talking about Colby Lopez.
Oh yeah, his real name, yeah.
Yeah, well, I think his real name is Seth Rollins, but when he was born, he went by the whole Colby Lopez gimmick, and then, over time.
Gimmick when he was born?
He
come on.
Doesn't he have a brother named Salvatore Bellomo?
By the way, Derek is on the line as well, so which means it's great. That means I can start to take a back seat. What's going on, Derek?
I am doing fine. I'm sitting here packing because I'm headed to UFC 200 on Saturday to Vegas. So
sweet.
Packing some clothes.
But you're actually going.
Yeah, I'm only going for one night. I'm an old man now. I don't have multiple nights of Vegas in me. I don't have that. So I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go for the show, and then I'm gonna leave on the saddest flight in America, which is any flight leaving Las Vegas. That is the saddest flight anywhere in this country.
Are you gonna hang out with Brock Lesnar and William Hunt or Mark Hunt or whatever his name is?
William Hunt, isn't he an actor?
Yeah. He might be.
Hurt. That's William Hurt.
Oh, William Hurt. Yeah, I'm gonna I'm gonna see if I can get backstage to meet Brock Lesnar. Yeah.
Hey, Derek, I have a question to ask you.
Okay.
What'd you think of the actions of Xavier Woods last night?
What actions? Him being scared?
Well, I was shocked he would walk out on his buddies like that.
Well, Dustin, let me explain something to you. Now, yesterday was the 4th of July, this country's birthday, so I'm going to explain a certain dynamic to you you might not know. But then again, you live in Texas, so you might understand that. But people like Xavier Woods haven't had the best of times with hillbillies like the Wyatts over the course of history. So maybe he was reaching back to a very dark past in his family where some hillbillies like the Wyatts did some unkind things to his family. Maybe he was having some kind of flashbacks and he didn't want to be bothered with them, if you catch my drift. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
No, you don't. Don't lie to me. No, you don't.
I understand. I really do. And here's the thing. It looks like I have a feeling that Xavier Woods maybe turn it on the New Day. I have a feeling the New Day's going to explode.
So you think Xavier Woods is going to leave the New Day and grow a beard? Is that what you think?
No, I think he's going to leave the New Day. He's going to join forces with the Wyatt family.
But doesn't he need a beard to be a Wyatt?
No, I'm just saying he's going to join forces with the Wyatt family after he turns back on the New Day.
And he has to be over 6 foot.
Is Dustin saying Xavier's going to turn to Papa Shango?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. Yeah.
Well, Brady, I got to go.
Oh, now you're going to leave. You're leave when I come on?
Run.
Take care,
Run.
Dustin.
Bye. I will.
I love you, Dustin.
Run. Love you too, Brady. No,
bye-bye.
He didn't
run,
get
Forrest,
my,
run.
He didn't get my joke at all.
He run.
He didn't get my joke at all.
Let Go ahead. Sorry.
No, did you guys hear? They announced who Brock Lesnar is going to be fighting at SummerSlam. Did you hear who it was?
Is that official?
No.
Yeah.
I heard it.
It's going to be Randall Keith Orton. What a way to come back. Welcome back, Randy.
Nice.
Oh, okay. And
what are they
going to?
Yeah. The guy got hurt taking out the trash, so you're going to put him in the ring with Brock Lesnar?
Oh, you're going to mock Randy Orton? How dare you? How dare you, Brady?
I'll tell you what, I feel like a marathon man. I've been taking out the trash like every Tuesday. I've been taking out the trash every Monday for the last 52 straight weeks, and my shoulder's starting to hurt.
Oh, you're gonna mock him? Well, Randy,
you didn't go there, did you?
I just think it's kind of crazy that the guy who's had chronic shoulder problems and just jacked up his neck, you're going to put him in the ring to get suplexed 30 times. That's
so stupid.
I'm pretty sure he's happy about it.
Maybe they're banking on Brock Lesnar being too hurt to fight at SummerSlam.
If I'm Randy Orton, that's what I'm pulling for. Because I don't want you throwing me on my... Well, maybe, you know what? Him and Randy, they came up together. Maybe they're kind of cool, so maybe Randy goes, I'll give you 3, and that's it. Nothing else. You're not going 3 of them.
Maybe Randy's going to run interference during UFC 200.
Hey, crazy things have happened.
Maybe Randy's paying Brock off.
I hope. I mean, I understand why they're doing it, because this is pretty much the last big match they can do that they haven't done already for Brock Lesnar. So I understand it, but god damn, poor Randy.
Brock's such a mercenary. Maybe Randy will just give him a couple thousand to just lay down in the middle of the ring.
Yeah.
I tell you what, if Brock Lesnar stiffs Randy Orton, I guarantee you Randy Orton won't be yelling at him and calling him stupid. I guarantee you that won't happen.
Yeah.
Stupid.
He'll be something like Bobby Heenan did with Brian Pillman.
What are you out of your mind? Yeah, remember when he grabbed him in his neck? What are you out of your mind?
Speaking of Bobby Heenan, and we do have callers, and I'm definitely going to get to you guys real soon, I promise. By the way, 914-338-1885 if you want to call in and be part of the conversation yourself. Bobby Heenan opened a Twitter account this week, and then it turned out not to be him. I was so thrilled because I was like, we're going to get this guy's personality again. You started right off with the one-liners, and I was like, this is awesome. And it's not him. It's not him.
Isn't?
No, it's not him. But it was verified by Twitter and everything. I was like, oh, wow. That's awesome.
That's sad. One of the biggest travesties is the fact that he was silenced, because he was awesome. And I would love to hear what he had to say nowadays.
Yeah. Well, let's go to the phones. I have a feeling this is a prank caller. 937. I think that's Ohio. You're on In the Room. What's going on?
Cleveland.
Hi, I'm currently submitting resumes for summer internships, and I was wondering if anyone there at the show could act as a professional reference for me, but you have to have impressive credentials, like if you were, say, the producer of a podcast or something. Is there anybody there that has... Yeah.
Why do you mock me, Mike?
Who's the prank call for? I feel like I'm the one with the prank call. I've been sitting here on the other end of the phone, like... Is wrestling a thing anymore? Like, has Raw been canceled? I mean, where's the wrestling discussion here? Somebody's in a ditch. Somebody went to Louisville. I mean, we really got to, grab wrestling and give it a good shake here.
Oh,
thank you.
Yeah, you're right. You're right about that. It's you probably haven't called in a while, Mike. You've been gone for a little bit. Maybe you don't heard.
It's not a wrestling show anymore. Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Yeah. I don't shine shoes no more. I don't know if you heard. Now I'm only. It's our callers. I mean, I blame them. It's not my fault, obviously.
Did you ever get power back after Superstorm Sandy?
Yes, I did.
Last week?
Yeah, pretty much. Yep.
So you're not going outside now and walking like 30 miles like to try to find a signal or anything like that.
No, and I'm no longer eating boiled hot dogs either. I have a working oven and everything.
Those were
commercials
some good
were
times.
great.
The glory days of the show.
Oh
man. So, Mike, for those who were just kind of curious, this is Mike Bessler, actually, from the pages of Pro Wrestling Illustrated, one of the finer publications out there today, covering the awesome world of professional wrestling in a way that In the Room just can't seem to do nowadays. What's going on, Mike?
Nothing. I saw your note on Facebook that you were going to do a show tonight, and I thought, wow, I should call in and kind of listen to what's going on and get a better sense for what's going on in the wrestling world. And I'm still waiting for that. For that piece of it. But the Snitsky interview was pretty cool. That was pretty enlightening.
I am having the worst few weeks of interviews, Mike. It's terrible. First, I have Stevie Ray angry with me with every question that I ask. Then I have Snitsky making fun of me with every question that I ask. It's been a real treat the last couple of weeks. Thank you, Kath.
I think I owe Snitsky dinner for that one.
Thank you, Snitsky. God bless.
You're saying, Kathie, it was that bad that you owe him dinner?
No, for him to bust on Brady, I owe him dinner.
Well, so yeah, I mean, wrestling's still a thing, and there's a lot of exciting things going on. I knew that I was calling into the show this week, so I purposefully didn't watch Raw.
You didn't miss anything.
Exactly.
You know what's funny is it's almost like I'm plugged in, from freelance writing, which is kind of tapering off as I move into some other stuff. I'm hooked into all these, internet website pages where the people are posting like WWE rumors and speculation, and could tonight be the night that Kurt Angle comes back? I'm pretty sure he didn't come back last night. Am I wrong on that? I feel like that would have been a bigger deal if he came back.
He didn't, and I'm a sucker for those rumors because every Kurt Angle rumor that comes out, I tend to believe. And he didn't come out. It was Vicky Guerrero. She was the big surprise.
That's not really a much of a surprise, is it?
No, not at all.
I mean, I don't know how many people were like just totally psyched, like yelling at their TV, like, "Man, I love her."
I always like Vicky, but I'm a strange cat, Mike. So.
Were you guys
anyway,
surprised though? Were you guys surprised? And I'm sure Snitsky's not listening anymore, and even if he is, he could care less about what I think, I'm sure. But I was a little bit surprised. He did give you guys the caveat that he doesn't watch the product anymore, but at the same time, he's like, all these guys are the same and they're cookie cutter, and I'm like, no, that's really not true anymore. It might have been true a few years ago, but not now. Do you guys agree with me on that? I mean, I don't think that it's the same, that it's all bad anymore.
No, I personally, I'm enjoying it more. I mean, you turn on Raw, and there's AJ Styles, there's Kevin Steen. It's like you said, it's, whether you like the New Day or not, depending on who you talk to, they're doing things that are different. There's something different in every segment, as opposed to when you turned on 2-3 years ago, and there was a guy with a tan in his underwear with the same tattoo. It's pretty much, like you said, it's a more wrestling feeling because there's characters now. Everybody looks a little different now.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so, and I don't love it all. I mean, it's easy to just kind of, sit and crack on it or whatever. I don't love every bit of it, but I don't think it's that bad.
I think
Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead, Mike.
So I had some questions about TNA for you guys since I'm not as up on it as I'd like to be, but I want to hear what you were going to say about WWE first.
Let me jump in with this first. And I was just going to say that I think WWE is in a unique position now where their quote unquote developmental system is certainly a much higher profile than it's ever been, and that's allowed them to just, as a touring brand, it's allowed them to bring in a lot of different talent that maybe wouldn't have gotten that opportunity before. So in a lot of ways, I mean, I know some people are loving Raw right now and everything, but I just feel like the main show is as stagnant as ever, but the other program, NXT, has just been on fire. And I think that's generated a lot of excitement where otherwise there wouldn't have been any. And I think that's what's helping them chug along right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I wonder how
that's
that's
just my thought
for them with their, at the corporate end.
Before we jump into like a real quick TNA discussion there, though, with the brand split coming up in 2 weeks and the opportunity. By the way, the 2002 brand split was one of my favorite times in all of wrestling, and I know I'm one of the only people that says that. But I love the idea of two separately run programs kind of competing against each other under the same umbrella like that. I thought it was tremendous, and I actually 2002 through 2004 I thought made for some really good programming, and I'm excited for what they can do with this.
No argument here.
What was happening in 04, Brady? What was happening in 04? I don't remember.
Like 04, I mean, that was kind of when, Chris Benoit, Chris Benoit got elevated to the heavyweight title.
Yeah.
Scene. Yeah. I mean,
that was good.
I guess he had been, I mean, that to me, that was a really cool time, It kind of just preceded the whole John Cena, Batista, Randy Orton explosion.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that was a good time. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I thought it was a good time. And in 04, like, I say 04 because by 05, they started, okay, the first, like, 2 or 3 years of the brand split, the only guys that switched back and forth by and large were, like, kind of minor guys. But then when you got into, like, 05 and 06, it was the main event players that were switching, and that kind of caused the brands to lose some of their identity, I thought. So, but the first 3 years, I thought it was a tremendous thing.
Yeah, you're right. And especially SmackDown, because I believe it was 02 or 03. That was like Triple H's reign of terror, right? That's when he was champion. He was beating everybody who was fresh off WCW.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
No, I'm sorry, Mike. Go ahead. Your TNA point. I'll be honest. I haven't watched TNA in a while now.
That was my question. Did the what is it called? The final deletion? Has that happened?
That is the only thing worth watching on TNA. It's so bad that it's awesome. That's the only thing I know that's happening in TNA. It's amazing.
I actually saw a report. It was another one of those where I saw the headline was intriguing, but I didn't click it, and it said that people are really trying to emulate this now, despite the fact that it's so bad. Is that do you see that as a trend? Is that just a clickbait headline, or do you see that as a viable trend now that people are going to try to do that, Derek?
I hope not, because this sort of thing can only come from the mind of Matt and Jeff Hardy. They're crazy. I think it's only acceptable from them because they're crazy. Like I said, it's so hokey. It's so bad that it's good. You just want to watch to see how bad it can get. And I hope this doesn't become a trend in professional wrestling because it's going to ruin it. There's nothing like the original. After tonight, I'll probably never, ever watch TNA again. This is the only thing in TNA I care about, which is probably pretty bad because apparently Bobby Lashley has, evolved into a pretty great character, but I don't care. All I care about is Brother Nero, crazy Matt Hardy stuff. And once it's over, I'm going to be pretty sad.
Yeah, the first day I watched the Brother Nero thing, I was like, oh, God, it's over. And then I watched it, I don't know how many times in the days that followed, and I'm like, This is something. I don't know what it is, but it's something.
So bad, it's so good. It's amazing. I know a lot of people rag on Matt Hardy, and some of it is well deserved, but he has a crazy mind for the business, and even though this is pretty bad, he's got people talking about him and Jeff in 2016, and they're not in WWE, so I guess he won in the end.
Yeah.
What is the final deletion?
Oh, Brady, it's amazing.
It can't be. I mean, does it have anything to do with Hillary Clinton? Because if so, I don't want anything to do with it.
Here we
They're
go.
doing a full-on backyard match. Is that right?
Yeah, pretty much, basically. Yeah.
Okay.
At night. It's like that SpongeBob cartoon. At night.
Will they have?
They're gonna have to
lights?
do that at the end of all the match calling. Swanton at night.
Up all night.
Fair shot. At night.
He kind of reminds me of Rhonda Shear. Okay. Are they going to have lights on, or will this just be literally a dark match?
You don't know. That's the thing. I don't know what to expect.
You haven't seen a highlight reel or anything or a promo reel or anything like that?
No.
You have to. You have to, because then you'll want to watch it. Then you'll have the morbid curiosity.
I saw the contract signing, and to me that just I just thought if I never watch TNA again, I'm fine. That's a nice bookmark right there.
Oh.
So no, I'm not familiar with it at all.
So you didn't love Brady? You didn't love when they threw the fake baby at Jeff? You didn't love that?
I made my children watch that, you guys. I seriously did. And I think Derek, you're right that one of the best moments in there, just because Jeff's such a bad actor, and he catches that baby and he goes, "What the hell? What the hell's wrong with you?" And then
don't forget the man.
Did you guys? Did any of you guys see the Colt Cabana as it happened reaction?
Yes.
And he's like, when they get to the table spot, he's like, interesting choice for a table. But I had the same thought. It's like a flea market circular kitchen table. Why is that there? And why did that seem like that'd be good to land on?
It almost killed poor Jeff. And the funniest thing about the Colt Cabana thing is, halfway through the video, he's like, "Who is Brother Nero? Why does he keep calling him Nero?"
I guess in a way it's almost like the Two Girls One Cup phenomenon. I've seen all the reaction videos, but I've yet to actually watch that entire mess. Is mess the right word? I guess mess is the right word.
It's like old WCW. You remember early to mid '90s WCW when they had the coal miner's gloves on a pole match, stuff like when Cactus Jack lost his memory. And they were looking. It's stuff like that. It's so cheesy.
I love
so bad that it's good.
Yeah.
Aren't they having fireworks around the ring or under the ring or something?
Everything you can imagine. Everything.
Yeah, I thought so.
It's going to be amazing.
I did see the promo.
And when does that air?
I think it's tonight.
Oh my God! No, it's 10:45. Is this TNA night?
I think. I don't. Does TNA come on Tuesdays, Brady? You got the TNA.
I believe so. I believe so. Yeah.
Just call Dixie and ask her.
Yeah, call
Dixie.
Pop
TV, right? They
I could probably call her on
programming.
I would think. Are they even live, or is this something that was filmed like 8 months ago?
Well,
or maybe something to be.
The promo is footage from the match, so.
Yeah.
Okay.
What the hell, man?
What are you doing?
It's the best. Everybody should watch that. You should. Oh my God.
You have intrigued me, Mike. I'm going to check it out, and I'm going to check it out in the next week or two. I have to, because once SmackDown moves to Tuesday nights, I can safely say that I will never watch TNA again.
It's 5 minutes. Why do you have to pledge in the next week or two? Why not just, Mike, next time I have 5 minutes and I'm in front of a computer or smartphone, I'll watch it.
Yeah, just type it in.
Come on, Brady.
Fair enough.
I guarantee you that you're going to watch it more than once. I guarantee you. After you watch the first, I'm going to be like, wait a minute, I have to watch this again to process everything.
You have to, yeah. And make sure that you Google director's cut, too. That's very important.
Director's cut, yes.
Because you get the whole thing. I sent it to my wife at work, and the minute, you guys will appreciate this, the minute she saw Matt Hardy playing the piano, she sent me an email that said, I cannot do this. And I'm like, no, you don't understand. It's really good. Like, this was when I had pivoted, and I'm like, this is really good. You have to watch it. You have to just have the experience. And she's like, no, I will not be doing this.
Wow.
But I was really intrigued by that because it's not outside of the realm of possibility that WWE would see that and go, you know what, we can do that better. And God knows that TNA has blatantly copied WWE's biggest angles over the last couple of years, including, you know, AJ taking the title on the road and stuff like that. So it would be funny, if provided it didn't drag on for too long, it would be really funny to see them do something like that.
Well,
and basically lay it out there that that's what they're doing.
You know, it's funny that you would bring that up because I kind of did think that with the whole Wyatt family New Day thing where they invited them to the compound. I just thought, God, like, here we go again, you know?
And Derek, your explanation regarding the whole dynamic between Xavier and Wyatt to that young man who I think still didn't understand when you got off the phone, I'm sure he's a loyal listener, was spot on perfect. And it is a layer of it's like whether that is intended by the writers or not, it's institutionalized so that at least one side, African Americans, and you know, which by definition live in the United States and live with a lot of history, are seeing that and going, "Yeah, I know what this is." Like whether it was intended or unintended, it's like, "Yeah, I know exactly what this is."
Yeah, I watched it, and I would like to think they mean no malice by it at all. But I was just watching it, and I thought to myself, like, you know, I'm pretty sure somebody somewhere is getting this from everything that's happening, you know.
Well, it's legitimate to say that that a person of color is probably not going to feel comfortable around some backwoodsy He-Man type. I mean, it's just, you know. So, I mean, yeah, I think that was not just inadequate, but I think a much-needed, candid explanation of that. So my hat's off to you, sir.
Oh, thank you. I'm glad somebody got it.
I'm totally serious. I mean, there's a sociological component to that yeah, people are going, it's like just going right over their head, and they're just looking at it going, oh, he's scared. He's going to turn. They're going to win him. They're going to win him over to the Wyatt family, and it's like, no, he you know. And in some parts of the country right now, that is the "oh shit, you're going to kill me" look.
Right. You know, it's funny. You know, sometimes I watch TV and something goes through my mind, and I look at the sociology degree on the wall, and I go, you know what? It paid off somehow. Somehow, it always pays off.
I'm an expert on pop culture here in my living room.
It's like Will Smith in Men in Black blaming the little girl with the quantum physics books. The one starting all the trouble in the drill, right?
Exactly. She's up to something.
Yeah, it's funny though. It really is because, like, I appreciate you, Derek. I appreciate everything that you bring to the table. But sometimes some of the things that you say, I don't catch until I go to listen back.
Well, I guess that's a good thing. I guess.
I guess. I mean, I probably am just too busy multitasking over here, but
Brady's like, sometimes I'm reading a magazine when you talk, Derek, and then when I go back and edit, I actually hear the words you're saying.
Completely ignored. But yeah,
gotta make you feel good.
Yeah, when I graduated college, my grandfather told me, you know, you have to make it your duty to justify this piece of paper at least once a month.
Duty.
So I try to do that.
So you're on a podcast talking to an executive producer of many podcasts. So I think that more than The burden is met and paid.
I produced one podcast.
Yeah.
One time I produced. Well, for one program.
Amazing.
So yes,
we're all in the shadow of your greatness, Brady.
That's right. That's right.
Snitsky, I can still remember Snitsky just kind of. I say I'm the producer for Tommy Fierro, and he said, "Wait a minute, I thought this was a podcast." He's like, "So you're basically the guy who unmutes me," and I'm like, "Yeah." Oh man, no, he had some fun.
I still, I haven't been on in so long, and I mention this, and any time that I'm introducing Brady to someone, and it's about time that it's told again, because you can see, you guys who are listening really need to understand what Brady does behind the scenes. And the story about the time that he got into it with Sid Justice / Sid Vicious on the phone, it's not just one of my favorite stories about Brady. It's one of my favorite things about Brady.
Wait, I never heard this.
Yeah, go.
Oh wait, Kathie, can you get Sid for the show? Brady will tell it. Brady will tell it with Sid on the line.
Why he's on the line?
I'll see Sid in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
Oh no. Oh no.
Oh yes.
He to this day he remains the only wrestler that I've ever hung up on.
Wait, you hung up on Sid?
Yeah, and he called me back furious that I hung up.
He thought, this is my recollection, because Brady tells this story terribly. The only time that he told it good was it was like one of the first podcasts I ever listened to. And I think Brady's kind of in denial of it now. But Brady said that Sid got upset because of Brady, like the pitch of his voice. He thought Brady didn't sound like he was young enough to be actually hobnobbing with wrestlers, and Brady wasn't sure of like the date, or he misspoke or something like that. And Sid just like goes off, and I'm sitting at my old job. This is years ago when I started listening to the show, and I didn't even really quote unquote know Brady yet at the time. And Brady he's like, yeah. So I hung up on him, and the guys, it was Kevin and DJ at the time, were like, oh my God, you hung up on him. And Brady had the classic Brady Hicks line, what's he going to do, stab me with the scissors through the phone?
Oh.
And I mean, I think it might have been like that day that I came home and sent Brady a message through Facebook like, hey Brady, I write for PWI too, and I really like your podcast, and and that's I think that was probably the beginning of our friendship / professional relationship.
That's
I think so.
Story, Brady.
Oh good.
That's not
the Kong
exactly,
story.
Yeah, when you compared her to a Kia.
A Kia.
The car, yeah. You called it cheap. Yeah, pretty much.
Who was that?
Not a Kong fan. Not a Kong fan.
You're not?
No, I'm not.
Kathie,
I'm not.
If you could book Sid on the show and clear the air, you seem like a really good go-between, and I think, and Brady could probably try talking as a baritone for maybe a day and a half before the show.
That's all.
Great to have you on the show, Sid.
You know what happened? The pitch of my voice is what got him in the beginning. But the
you sounded like you were 11 years old or something
something like that. I don't remember. I thought it was unnecessarily mean. That just opened the door. But then what really irked him was my lack of knowledge about anything concerning the upcoming booking that he was trying to promote. But that was the thing. Like I literally was told, here's his number.
You're probably the reason he didn't get a lot of butts in the seats. It's all your fault.
Exactly.
I mean, who knows? I just know, like, I didn't do the pre-interview because I was just trying to schedule a time for him, and I wasn't aware that he was going to want me to be fully informed about. And I believe it was through Go Fight Live at the time because I was hosting their pre-shows. They used to have these teleconferences. I did them for Ring of Honor several times as well. And that's kind of how I got hooked up with Sid's number. was Go Fight Live wanted me to specifically produce an interview that would air as part of like the Go Fight Live programming for whatever the promotion was. I don't remember what it was now. Maybe it was NWS or PWS. I think that's what got me in trouble was I didn't know the name of the promotion. Mostly because I deal with all these different promotions and I didn't have it in front of me. And I wasn't expecting to actually talk turkey with him at that point, you know. But when he started like berating me, I was just like, you know what, I'm not going to take this, so I just hung up. I'm like, I don't need him. I don't need him to berate me.
And I'm sorry to bring it up. It's just I haven't called in so long.
No,
it's
okay.
Legit one of my favorite Brady stories. You guys, I introduced Brady to people with this story.
I was just like, hey, you know, we're not live, pal. You know, like it's okay. We can loosen up a little.
Man.
Yeah, but then the Kong thing, like Derek describes the Kong thing, like I don't know, like sometimes when I'm at a show, and Mike, you know how this is because you've been to a number of shows. Have you ever just had somebody just rub you the wrong way? That came out
actually,
wrong. You know
actually, the first time I ever went to an indie show and got backstage, I called you, and I had also called Frank Cruda, and I'm like, I've never done this before. I need some tips. And you guys actually gave me some names of people to stay away from, which I really appreciated because a few of them showed up there.
Was Billy Gunn there? Was Billy Gunn one of them?
Yes.
I thought so.
That was helpful. Now, I mean, I met Shane Douglas at that same show, and I mean, I've never met a more fascinating person in the wrestling biz, I think. But yeah, there were some, you know, I know it's a big deal when you're in the back room. Is Stro on the line?
I am.
I know it's like a huge deal when you're invited back there that you shake hands, look people in the eye. I couldn't do it with some people. Like I was getting a vibe like just leave it alone, and I don't know if that's, if that's safe. I mean, it's safe too. I mean, I did. It wasn't any problem, but I mean, there were some people that I stayed away from.
Yeah, I totally get what you're saying. I'm always looking at people all the time. I'm like shaking hands and stuff, and then some people that take it the wrong way, like he must be up to something. He must know something we don't. It's just some people just like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, Mike,
I
I'm curious.
who
were the other names they gave you?
I'm not telling.
Oh, come on.
I'm not telling. It's bad enough that I'm on a podcast with Brady. That's enough to get me,
Yeah, it is.
Uninvited.
That's heat, brother.
Many different
That's heat, brother. I'm curious who I told you as well. You'll have to message me some of those names. I don't remember. That's funny. No, but like for example, like the Kong story, like I can remember I went with Frank Cruda to a show, and at the time I was kind of following that general rule: you go around, you shake everyone's hand. Well, Kong just didn't seem to like she just seemed like almost angry that I was even there. It was the weirdest thing. By the way, we're almost out of time on the live feed, so if you're listening and it cuts you off, be sure to go to vocnation.com. You can play it in the archives. You can download the official podcast, the MP3 version of the show, and listen to this overtime conclusion when we go off the air here. So anyway, yeah, so Kong just didn't seem that thrilled. And I had to interview her for something. I forget if it was like a 10 questions or something like that. And she said she would do it after the show. And she said, let me just go and get changed, and I'll be right out. And, like, Frank and I stood there for a while. Frank had the camera. I had the notebook. And I want to say 35 or 40 minutes passed. I even had, like, one or two of the girls go in to, like, check to make sure she was still in there. Not to bother her, just to make sure that she was still in there. And she just walked out in her street clothes, looked right at us, and just kept going. Just kept going. Like, just and I thought, you know what? I'm not going to chase you. If you don't want it, I'll just tell them I couldn't get it.
The things that there's a couple things that made that story funny. First of all, the disgust in your voice when you were describing it to Kevin was amazing. Like, you were so disgusted at how she treated you. The second thing is, no matter how many people I've listened to podcasts and shows, and they bring up Kong, from Steve Austin to Colt Cabana to Dave Meltzer, they all say how much of a sweetheart she is. So, of course, Brady is the one guy who doesn't get along with Kong. And then the final thing that made the story hilarious was when you asked Kevin, you were like, when I say Kia and I bring up Kia car, what is the first thing that comes to mind, Kevin? And Kevin was so confused about where you were going. He goes, I don't know, a compact, reliable car. And that was just hilarious to me because you said, no, a cheap car, cheap. That's what comes to mind when I think of Kia. And just the disgust that you had for her was just hilarious to me. That's all. That's why I always laugh at that story.
This is kind of turned into a segment where we rehash some of the nastier things that I've said about people. Let me just say, I'm a little older now. I apologize for anybody that I may have offended.
Yeah, like Stevie Ray when you were confused about yeah.
I didn't. There was no offense intended there. I mean, that was a straightforward question. Whatever.
Well, Brady, you asked the man if he was surprised that his brother was a star.
I said that isn't what I said, Mike. That isn't what I said. I said to Steve, we had Stevie Ray on the program last week, and I said to him, looking back, you're teaming with a young Booker T. Did you realize he had the potential to be a breakout main event star in WCW?
Okay.
And his response was, well, yeah, why the hell wouldn't I think that? But then again, every question I asked Stevie Ray, like every single thing I asked Stevie Ray, he just liked it. I don't know why he just liked it. Derek asked him, Stro asked him about the time he met Frankie Valli. He laughed and told that story. Kathie brought up road stories. He laughed and he talked all that. Derek talked about how he was a role model for young black children, and he loved talking about that. But every single thing, the only thing that he didn't get mad at me for asking about was Sherry. That was the only thing he didn't get mad at me for asking about.
Yeah.
I listened back to that last week. It was awesome.
I couldn't. It was painful. It's the first show I haven't listened back to in forever.
The dynamic was hilarious. And I played it. And I played it for my brother and my grandfather. And my brother was like, "Did Brady ever meet the guy? Like, why doesn't it seem like he doesn't like him?"
I don't know, Mike.
Well, it's always you're always a fascinating person to learn from, Brady. And of course, many of the things are things to learn not to do. But nevertheless, it's you're one of my more educational friends.
Yeah, always a lesson, always.
I'm glad I could be of some service.
Hey, Derek,
Mike,
when
Mike,
you met Brady,
still...
did you ever have any hint that he'd become a breakout podcast star?
Never. I never knew I would.
No, the correct answer is why the hell wouldn't I?
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. Why the hell wouldn't I, Mike?
Right. Kathie, what was the other thing I asked him? I asked him something about why he never went to WWE, and he's like, because it didn't make. He said it didn't make money sense or something like that. He's like,
right.
Yeah, he's got like five. He's got like 4 or 5 businesses in Houston.
Yeah, but he was just so confrontational about it, Mike. He was just like obviously, if they had the right amount of money on the table, I would have gone there, Brady, but I didn't.
Mm-hmm.
He did everything but say, "Duh, jackass." Like, that's the only thing that made him perfect.
And then I asked
get him back on the line. Maybe he'll do that too.
Yeah, that's what he said
would.
to me after the interview.
What?
The next day he went, "Really?" I'm like, "Sorry."
Oh, Brady,
really? What?
You're gonna give Brady a complex.
Wait, he said really about what? The interview?
I said to him, I said, thank you, Stevie. I appreciate you coming on. He's like, anything for you, sis. I said, well, I appreciate that. He says, but some of those questions, I said, oh, yeah, I know.
But they weren't that bad a question.
Brady
He just,
Hicks.
like, they were good questions. I look at it like that was kind of a defective answers.
Here's the next feud.
I asked him, Mike, everything I asked him just came back to the fact that, like, he didn't like the business. It was the weirdest thing. Like, I said to him, you know, how cool would it have been if you got that world title run? And he just brought it back to, well, unless I'm making more money, I don't care.
That's right, brother. That's right.
I don't know. It just, we didn't click. I didn't remember it being bad. I thought we had a great interview the first time around, but just last week, I don't know.
I just complimented
it just didn't work.
I saw how he was responding to you, and I thought to myself, I'm just going to compliment this guy the whole time. That's all. Can't get mad at that.
Right, but when I tried to compliment him, he just said, "Is there a question in there?" So, like, I could do no right. I literally could do no right.
I'm just glad I didn't get asked to get Butch Reed on.
Oh.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Oh,
Ask about his blonde hair, Breeze.
I used to watch Butch Reed when he was in Memphis.
Mm-hmm.
I like Butch Reed.
Brady, if we get too cold Scorpio on, you really got to behave yourself.
I've had Scorpio before.
Oh, I know you have.
Yeah, what do you mean I got to behave myself? I always behave myself. Like, I didn't think I was out of sorts last week. It was the funniest thing. Like, I asked him the first question, and he kind of went off on this rant. That was how he prefaced it. Every single thing I said, he's just like, well, you're approaching this as a fan, not as somebody who was in the locker room. And I was like, well, Stevie, I wasn't in the locker room. I
have to
there.
go download this. I have to download. I have to hear this. This sounds spectacular.
It's amazing.
I asked one or two questions, and we have this chat going on the side during the show because obviously we're not literally in the same studio. And so I'm writing Stro, I'm writing Derek, I'm writing Kathie, and I'm just like,
help me.
I just said help. Like, I asked the second question. And it was like it was clear that nothing I ask is going to be okay. And I must have had 10 questions jotted down, and every single one I had to draw a line through because I knew how he was going to answer it.
Oh,
I like when he got Derek on the phone and went, "Are you a brother? Are you African American?"
That was funny.
I hope I sound like one.
Oh, man.
Well, I admire you for sticking with it.
Well, Mike, thank you. Do you still have that website, the WrestlingNews.com, I believe, or? I don't have it offhand.
Yeah.
All right, never mind.
Somebody else is doing a lot of the work right now. I'm doing a lot of other things, so you know. But you know, I still have you.
You do still have me, Mike. You'll always have me. We'll always have the 500, Mike.
Mhm.
So.
For as long as they'll have us.
Yeah. Which may have ended this year. I don't know. I only kid, of course. Now it's always a fantastic time. I actually was thrilled with the amount of input we were given this year. I thought it was tremendous.
Looking forward to talking about that when it gets all official, everything.
Yeah. The first draft is good, so it's looking up. So.
All right, guys. Well, wonderful to talk to all of you again. It's been a while.
Yes.
Yeah. Take care, Mike. It was very good to talk to you.
You guys take care. Talk
Everybody,
to you soon.
And check out Mike. He's on Twitter at Saint Anxious. So you can follow along with everything that Mike's got going on there.
And in the pages of Pro Wrestling Illustrated.
Yes, of course.
And on other places.
Mike,
too,
that's for everybody.
Conversation for another day.
Various and sundry.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Hey, Mike, I'm sorry if I put you to sleep, buddy. It was good talking to you.
I'm good. Talk to you guys soon.
See you.
Later, Mike. Bye. All right. That was Mike Bassler, Pro Wrestling Illustrated. Good buddy there. We have one more caller. God, it's already 10 after 11. But let's get him going. He's been waiting for almost an hour.
How'd you know it was happening? Am I in room 666 or room 226?
Good God. Oh, hell no. No, you're not.
Oh, God.
Are you drunk again?
I think I'm back to normal. I think so. Let me hit my head one time.
I hope so.
Okay.
You feeling better, Rat Boy? You
Huh?
feeling better? You feeling better?
A lot better.
That's good.
Thank the Lord.
You gonna watch what you eat from now on?
When I got my video. I cut on Friday night.
What?
Yeah, I saw that. He posted it on the In the Room Facebook group. So
video?
Wow.
What are you doing in this video,
I didn't.
Rat Boy?
A little bit of everything. I mean, promote my show.
Oh, okay. Rat Boy, I have a question before we let you go. I mean, who's that lady in your profile picture on Facebook? Who's that woman?
That woman is my supermodel.
I'm sorry?
She's my supermodel.
Your sugar mama?
Supermodel.
Yeah.
I thought he said shish kebab.
Me too. That's why I said, excuse me.
I thought so too.
I said, Rat Boy, don't get lewd now. We don't need to know your personal business. She's your sugar mama.
Hey, that's my sweetheart.
Okay.
She's a model, and
she's a model.
She comes once a month to see me.
For what? She's a model.
Yeah. And
what
Philadelphia.
Does she model? Well, yeah, Philadelphia. Okay, that explains a lot. What is she? Sorry, Brady. What is she? What does she model? Like what? Bikinis?
Bikinis, clothes,
really?
her body.
Her body? She's a model for her body. Okay. All right. I was just curious, Rat Boy. I saw the picture and I was like, I gotta ask Rat Boy next time I speak to him. Okay.
Why did I? She's a sweetheart to me. You know, she.
All right, that's all that matters.
That's what I do, and I like what she does. And one day you might just see me and her together modeling.
Really?
Together. Yep.
Okay. All right, Rat Boy. I was just curious, Rat Boy. If she makes you happy, I'm happy.
And yes, she does got a boyfriend, but it's okay by her boyfriend because I met her boyfriend.
Wait a minute. I'm sorry?
She's got a boyfriend.
And her boyfriend's okay with you?
Yeah. He's the one that took the picture.
Oh, it's one of those things, huh? Okay.
Yeah, well, it is her boyfriend is the photographer for her.
Her boyfriend is what now?
He does photography for her. He does everything.
Photography. Okay.
You got it now?
I guess, right. I'm fully informed, Rat Boy. Okay. Good. Hey, she makes you happy, and her husband's okay with her making you happy. You're living the life, buddy. You're living the life.
That's right. I make her happy, and I make her laugh, too.
Oh. The key to a woman's heart is laughter. The key to a woman's heart, Rat Boy, is laughter and fat wallet. So, just remember.
She don't want that. She don't want that from me.
She don't. She just wants you to make her laugh.
Just to make her laugh and just be her friend. That's all I've been doing.
Oh, that's awesome, Rat Boy. Good for you.
You know,
I'm not going to tell you.
She'll be here. Actually, she'll be here next weekend.
Is she?
At a party.
At a party?
Yeah.
I thought you meant here.
Me too, right? Like in the room. What does she do at these parties, Rat Boy?
Well, she gets up on stage. I get up on stage. You know,
Whoa.
I'm in this organization called Magic Entertainment.
Wait a minute. Hold on. This just took a left turn.
Wait a damn minute.
So she gets on stage, and what does she do on stage?
She's a spokesperson for Magic Entertainment.
Magic Entertainment.
Yeah, that's the organization
Magic.
I belong to here in Trenton.
Okay.
Is that like magicians and stuff?
I'm choking on my water.
I had a friend that was into magic entertainment.
Brady said it's you, musician. Oh, I'm crying. So we're peeling the layers off this onion now. What's magic entertainment, Rat Boy?
It is an onion.
It's a community organization here that we help out kids, do things.
Oh,
go
no, I feel
parties,
cool.
pretty
I feel like a
kids.
dirtbag now for implying that I was playing.
At night we take over, have some fun at a bar or maybe at a
Wait a
dance
minute.
place.
Wait a minute, Rat. You do stuff for the kids at a bar?
No.
Okay.
We do it in the park for the kids.
Oh, because Rat Boy.
You do it in the park.
I was waiting for that, Brady. I was waiting for it.
At night,
Put
I
up
hope.
a bouncy house for them so they can bounce around for a while.
Hey.
Pumpkin tanks.
Hey.
Got a lot of DJ out there. You give them free food like hot dogs, potato chips.
Does she bring the bouncy house?
Brady,
Who brings the bouncy house?
Huh?
Who brings the bouncy house?
How big is it?
No, who brings it? Who brings the bouncy house?
The guy gets a bouncy house every time we go out there to the park or something. We just set it up and let them go bounce around for a while. I was in it
Well, that's
already.
wild.
I was bouncing around in it.
I can't.
Wow.
I can't.
Rat Boy, there's never a dull moment with you, buddy. Never a dull moment. God bless you, Rat.
He has always got something going on. He really does.
Hey, put it
That's
this
awesome.
way. Put it this way, okay? When you turn that to 50, all right, and it's just like a kid again, After you turn 50, after 50, you want to do more. Before you die, because you only live once.
Jesus, you're 50 years old, Rat Boy. There's no time to be thinking about death, man. Yeah, you got a long way to go, Rat Boy.
That's right. You gotta have fun,
Yeah. I hear you, buddy.
When we were growing up, I just kind of stuff.
You didn't have a bouncy house when you were growing up?
No, I never had. No, there was no bouncy houses at that time.
God darn, that's depressing, buddy. But what did you do for fun? I'm 30, so I grew up with bouncy houses. I still get in them from time to time, as a grown-ass man. So,
When I was growing up, we had roller skating rings, movies.
Okay. We have movies.
But we don't got that stuff here no more.
Oh, you don't have movies in Trenton?
No.
How scared were you during the 4th of July living in Trenton, Rat Boy? Like, how confusing was it to live in Trenton on the 4th of July with fireworks and stuff going off? Like, were you like...
And guns.
Yeah, right? Yeah, did you not know the difference?
No. Everything was going off. All over the place. Put it this way. Some guy lit up one of those big bottle things.
Okay.
The rockets.
Okay.
It tipped over and hit somebody's car.
Sounds about right.
And it bounced and hit a person, and they had to call an ambulance for that person.
Oh,
wow.
Well,
right in front of my eyes, too.
Sounds like an eventful 4th.
Yeah, because you don't know if they're shooting off fireworks or guns. I don't care.
I know, you don't care. Your hood.
Sounds
right.
like the holiday at JPP's house,
Oh, there it is. There it is.
Put it this way. You're in train, it sounded like a Western. The guns going boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, my poor dog was like whimpering at night over the weekend because it's his first real 4th of July. He was a puppy last year when we got him. He was asleep. But he was whimpering and crying and shaking, and he was jumping in my arms, and I was yelling at him. I was being completely insensitive to his poor feelings, and I got yelled at. But
You're supposed to hold him and snuggle with him.
I was watching TV and he jumps in my lap. I'm like, get away from me, dog, and get yelled at. He's scared, Derek. Well, I'm scared too. Damn it.
Doggies get scared though. I mean, it's very traumatizing.
I can
Get
imagine.
him a thunder shirt.
I actually read a statistic. I actually read a statistic that more dogs run away from home on the 4th of July than any other day of the year.
I can imagine.
So far in the area, I've seen at least 7 dogs that have been posted pictures that ran away because of the thunder. I mean the fireworks.
Yeah.
That's sad. It's not funny. I'm probably gonna seem like a hole when I tell this story. But I went down to the beach yesterday. They have like these food trucks. I like to go sit down at the food trucks. But you have to walk like through a little neighborhood to get to the beach. And I'm walking through the neighborhood and I look at the pole and you know how like missing dogs, blah blah blah. So my son goes, "Oh, Dad, look, some lady. I don't know why he assumed it was a lady. He goes, some lady lost her cat." And me being the a-hole that I am, I'm like, that cat's gone. Like once a cat runs away, that's it. They're not coming back. You will never find a runaway cat.
Sure about that?
You might find a dog. Back. If a house cat gets out that door, it's like freedom. It's like, he's never coming back. You can open the jail.
Yeah, but
depends on if it's an outside cat or not.
They don't get food. They don't get it handed to them.
You're wrong. The cat will come back after it gets laid.
After it gets laid, you said?
Oh, my God.
Boy, what are you doing? What are you turning this into?
It's rated X now, ain't it?
Oh, God.
Well,
This room XXX, ain't it?
No.
Oh,
it's not.
Okay.
I was gonna say don't listen to Rat Boy. He had his cat run away. He put out a bowl of food and he got a raccoon. He thinks it's his cat. So.
Yeah, he still pets it. He has a pet.
My cat is a damn squirrel.
Squirrel, you say?
The way she stands up on her hind legs with her paws whacking at me, she looks like a squirrel.
All right, Rat Boy.
I had her since she was born.
Oh.
Well, Rat Boy, I'm glad you feel better. Sorry, go ahead, Terry.
All
right,
big
Rat
news.
Boy.
I got big
Glad
news.
to have you back, buddy.
What's your big news?
I got really big news to tell everybody, and guess what?
He always does one
July
preview too many.
July 23rd, I'm making my way down there to the Fan Battle Royal, and I will be the winner of that Battle Royal in ECWA.
All right. Hey, thanks. All right,
To sell your tickets?
Don't worry about my ticket. I'm just going to jump in and start hurting people.
Okay.
Don't worry about my tickets.
Good luck with that.
Puff and Sniff. Just like Puff and
Sniff. That's right. That's right. How are you getting there, Rat Boy? I'm not going. I can't make that show.
I got my personal cameraman coming with me.
Oh, good.
Does he drive?
The one that done the video for me. He's coming with me.
You didn't say driver. You said your personal cameraman.
Because I got me a Rat TV on YouTube now, and we're going to be working on that.
Oh.
It's not the same cameraman that Kevin Owens has, is it? The one that throws pies in your face?
No.
Kevin Owens.
Eating his chips?
No.
That would have so been me. I would have been hiding under the table eating a bag of chips.
Just wait for everybody to calm down.
Yeah.
Nope. And I like
nope.
your story again with Psycho Sid.
Yeah, we're never gonna talk about him again. I've admitted.
Brady, I think at the same time when Psycho Sid supposed to be up here and
God damn it, Rat Boy. We're trying to wrap it up.
Give out his number so everybody start calling him up. Remember that one?
You know what? I actually think it was the same show. So after all that, he didn't even show up for the appearance. I believe that's the same show.
No, it was
that's
the
funny.
Same show.
I believe it was, yeah. But I've grown up. I've grown up, Rat Boy. I don't come after people like that anymore.
Brady is a grown ass man now. Sid Justice, you hear that? Sid Vicious, he's a grown ass man. Psycho Sid. Any more names I'm forgetting?
Okay, well, I got to go.
The Millennium Man.
Mr. Judy.
I got to go check my Mega Million, and please, stay tuned on Thursday at 6 because I'm coming back right here on the VOC Nation at 6 o'clock on Thursday.
Hey, Rat Boy. Hey, Rat Boy. I'm not gonna say I love you. I'm just gonna tell you, stay black, bro. All right, stay black.
Yeah.
No, homie, I'm always back, homie. I got to
Sorry.
No.
I love you, Rat Boy.
Yo, I love everybody, and I'm doing better every day, and I'm make that boy great again.
Take care, Rat Boy.
I love you guys. Bye.
Bye. We have the best listeners ever. We really do. Oh, man. Okay, so real quick, I know we got to get out of here. We're definitely running late. Just to recap, next week on the show, Derek, you weren't here for this. Have you ever heard of the show Man in the Castle?
No. What is that about?
No. Okay. So Man in the High Castle. Man in the High Castle is a program that's airing on Amazon Video. So if you have like Amazon Prime or whatever, you can watch it for free. Basically, the concept is that Nazi Germany beat the United States in World War II.
Oh no.
And they divide up the country with Japan. They give Japan like the West Coast, and they run the rest of the country. And it's basically the story of a bunch of like revolutionaries kind of running around trying to fight the Nazis. Basically, It's a really interesting program. It's really good. If nothing else, it's really cool to see the visual of New York City being the capital of like Nazi United States.
Not sure how I feel about that, but okay.
Yeah, well, it's certainly interesting. Anyway, Lee Short.
One has to be at least one.
I didn't notice.
This silence.
I didn't notice.
All right.
This does take place in the '60s, so I'm really not sure how that worked out for you guys.
Oh, I'm sorry, Brady. There were black people around in the '60s. My mom can contest to that. Right?
But there were, but I don't know how the Nazis handled.
Oh God.
I don't know how that worked.
Yeah.
But the really depressing thing is, like, because the show takes place, I believe, in 1962. Adolf Hitler's still alive, but he has Parkinson's. He's about to die. There's a lot of worry that a conflict between Japan and Germany could spark World War III. Okay. And basically, it's interesting, and it's a really cool like concept piece to kind of look at it and visualize how that would be if Germany had actually won the World War. And because it takes place 20 years after the Great War, there's a whole generation of Americans that are running around that don't really understand the freedom that they had before, in the 1940s. So it's interesting.
Like
it's a really cool.
Yeah.
It's actually a really good show. This is the first season that they have now. I'm on episode 3. There's 10 of them, and there's a new season coming out later this year. Anyway, the short end of that whole long spiel is that Lee Shorten, who plays Sergeant Yoshida on this program, he's going to be on the show, In the Room next week. Yeah. I posted something on Facebook about liking the show and recommended that people check it out. That automatically posts to my Twitter, and I noticed that the actor who plays him actually liked the comment, so I started talking to him.
So
Lee Shorten, he plays a sergeant. He plays a sergeant with the Japanese Army, which is based out of San Francisco.
Oh, okay. Oh, it says. I'm googling it now. The little skinny guy from that movie Road Trip, he's in it. So I'm sold.
Yes, he is. Yeah,
that's
he is in it.
I'm sold.
Your guy. He was also in Employee of the Month with Dane Cook.
Oh, that's another great movie.
I believe that was him.
Yeah, whatever happened to Dane Cook?
I don't know. He kind of gave way, I guess. I don't know. So anyway, that's the guest for next week. The week after that is the draft spectacular. We'll be starting at 10 Eastern so that we can all watch that episode of SmackDown with the draft and everything. We'll come on the air at 10. Whether we talk for an hour and a half, whatever it is, that's what it'll be. But, special start time, 10 o'clock Eastern. So everybody be sure to tune in for that. And lots of other exciting guests coming up in the next couple weeks. Kathie, anything that you want to plug?
Just in September, Icons of Wrestling. And real fast, please, Brady, I'm sure you remember Teddy Fine.
Yeah. Actually, you're right.
Yeah, please keep his family, Teddy and his family in prayers. Both his parents were killed over the weekend in a fire at their house.
Oh, wow.
Terrible.
So Teddy's a local independent wrestler. He's been around for many years, and he's a great guy.
Forever, yeah.
And it's such a sad tragedy,
He's a mentor for a lot of the young ECWA guys I know.
Yes, Mike Keener trained him.
So everybody definitely keep Teddy and his family in your thoughts and prayers. Derek, anything that you want to plug coming up?
No, not really. I'm really excited about the draft show, and I just want to give everybody fair warning. If Kurt Angle shows up, I'm probably going to cry live on air. So everybody be prepared. Kurt Angle shows up. I believe this is probably not for another 2 months, but I'm finally going to be on Hell in a Cell Talk Radio again. I weaseled my way back onto that show.
Nice.
I will more than likely be on the show after CM Punk's first UFC fight. Me and Dean are going to laugh on air after CM Punk gets knocked out. So unless he wins, if he wins and he ruins the show, and I won't make it, and then I'll definitely hate CM Punk for taking that away from me. So stay tuned for that.
Hey, I also wanted to give a shout out real quick. Stro, we have the brushes with you every week, and they've been fantastic. I think sometimes, I know I do, I'm assuming you guys do as well. Sometimes because we deal with you like each and every week, I forget the greatness that is the Stro, Yeah. I forget all that you've accomplished. I was looking at this documentary, one of those WWE 24 things. It was about NXT Brooklyn. And Sasha Banks is talking about when she broke into the business, and she actually shows the camera a list of the wrestling schools that she was looking at, when she was considering breaking into the business. And third from the top was the Stro.com. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah. Wow. So what a small world, right?
Yeah, seriously. That's
you know
really
what it
cool.
is? I think it's a testament to how much of a down-to-earth person Stro is and how relatable he is, because I'll be watching, random things on the network, and you'll see Stro in WCW, or I'll be watching, because I watch a lot of old AAA stuff on YouTube, and you'll see Stro in the ring with Jake the Snake, or even I told you the shoot interview I saw with Stro sitting at the table with Jake the Snake doing the Q&A with the crowd, and it's like, wow, I do a show with him every week, and
I know
he's a big deal, but he doesn't come off as a big deal. Like I said, that's a testament to the great person, great human being that you are. That you don't big time us little guys, especially me, because I have nothing to do with the business. I'm just a fan. At least Brady writes for a magazine, and Kathie knows everybody. I'm just Joe Schmo from Long Island who grew up loving it. So we appreciate you, Stro. You're a great guy.
Oh, yeah, I thank you so much, brother. I appreciate you guys so much. I'm so blessed to be with you guys each and every week. It really is a total blessing.
I love a lot of things he posts and everything during the week.
Yes, helps me
seriously. Gets me through the week.
Oh,
it really does.
Oh, thank you.
I like that you like me, even though
and I like lifting everybody.
Yeah, and I like that you like me, even though I trash your friends half the time. I don't put on it. I just have fun. I just have fun on air. course. There's nobody that I've trash talked on here that I haven't talked with in person. So except for Billy Gunn. No, I did talk to him.
The one.
I'm good. I'm kidding. My God, Billy got so mad when I tried to get him on the show because he thought that PWI magazine were the ones that ruined his marriage. He's like, no, I'm not talking to you guys. Yeah, because I guess he confused us with PW Insider. So he's like, I'm not talking to you guys. He's like, you ruined my life forever. Why would I talk to you?
Oh.
Yeah, I was like, oh, I had nothing to do with that, Billy.
You're still the man.
That was all you.
Still the man.
I like Billy Gunn. I was always a fan. Anyway, Stro, you want to tell us a little bit about what you got going on this week?
Oh,
this
absolutely.
month, whatever.
Tomorrow, WCW Retro returns, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on VOCNation.com. And Brady, do we have a special interview afterwards tomorrow night?
Yeah. In honor of her release from rehab and turning her life around once again, Tammy Sitch from In the Room from a couple years ago.
Oh, okay.
She spent a little time in WCW. I know you're quite familiar with her, Stro, certainly from Smoky Mountain and WCW as well. She's somebody who's familiar with a lot of people, so I think it'll be a good interview. I haven't listened back to it in a long time, but
I'm also going to be at the War Games event UPWA is putting on, Papa's Family versus Team UPWA at the Schwartz Center in Wilmington, North Carolina, July 16th. For more ticket info, go to theupwa.com. Be at Scares That Care coming up in Williamsburg, Virginia at Doubletree by the Hilton, July 22nd to 24th. For more information, go to scaresthatcareweekend.com. I'll be there, the Boogeyman, plus a lot of the Hollywood horror and sci-fi genre will be there as well. July 17th, I got a hair versus hair match with my hair won't be on the line, but the guy I'm representing, his hair, RWA owner Julian Strauss, and I'll be taking on Boogie Woogie Man McBride. In his corner will be Jimmy Valiant, and Jimmy Valiant and Julian Strauss is putting both their hairs up for grabs. So if I win, then Jimmy Valiant gets his hair shaved, and if the other guy wins, then the owner gets his hair shaved, and that'll be July 17th at Johnny and June's in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. And more information, just look up Revolution Wrestling Authority on Facebook. And more information on TV, wrestling, and film, which I'm going to be shooting a children's film at the end of the month called The Rat Pack.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's going to be really cool. And for more information
on
film,
going?
TV. He might. I don't know who all you contacted. He may have contacted Rat Boy. But official website, thestro.com, Facebook, Stro the Maestro, Twitter @thestro, and Instagram @Stro Maestro.
Now, you mentioned the Schwartz Center. Are you going to use the Schwartz?
Oh, please.
There it is.
I'll just get a couple Cracker Jack boxes to find it, I guess.
Exactly. All right, from my end, so next week, the Man in the High Castle, Lee Shorten, plays Sergeant Yoshida on the Man in the High Castle, so check that out in the room next week. Tomorrow night after WCW Retro, Tammy Sitch, 10:30 Eastern, classic in the room interview. By the way, if you have a chance, go back, check out the archives. I've been airing classic interviews from in the room for the last couple of years. All up and down. Saturday night, I know we do one as well. The last week we had Austin Aries, and the week before that, Luke Gallows. So there's been a lot of really cool content that's been added to the site, plus the classic VOC Wrestling Nation, and each and every week they're interviewing somebody special as well. So there's been a lot of really good interviews going up on the site. I definitely recommend checking out VOCNation.com, clicking on the archives, and then the 2016 archives. Look for that, and that's a listing. All the guests are bolded, so you can find them very easily. Yeah, and that's about it from my end. ECWAProWrestling.com returns to the Woodbury Heights Community Center July 23rd. Summer Splash. I believe it's Summer Splash. Papa Don, Sean Cartu for the title. And, yeah, it should be a good time. So everybody be good to each other. Take care of each other. And we'll talk to you soon. Take care.
Bye.
Napa know-how. A Napa guy knows that by the foot, there's no better ride than an old station wagon. Room for 6 people facing forward, 2 people facing backward, and a whole lot of luggage, lumber, and bicycles haphazardly strapped to the roof. If you can parallel park that beast, you can park anything. And with some quality parts and a little Napa know-how, you can keep your land ship running longer, stronger. It's not obsolete. It's a rare treasure. That's Napa know-how.
Napa know-how.
Hey, I'm here at your Metro PCS store. What's the best deal I can get for switching over?
How does a free smartphone sound?
Sounds good, but is it a tiny smartphone?
Nope, 5-inch HD screen.
Good brand?
Great brand. Samsung, and it's a Galaxy.
So I got a free Samsung Galaxy?
Yeah, you're a tough man to bargain with.
Everyone gets a free Samsung Galaxy On 5 at Metro PCS. Switch today and get a free smartphone after instant rebate. Yes, a free Samsung Galaxy. Metro PCS. Wireless figured out. Coverage not available in some areas. Sales stocks not included. Not valid for numbers currently on the T-Mobile network. See store for details, terms, and conditions, and network info.